This week on the program, get ready for Pete Davidson by the barrelful, because we're talking Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. I'm Andrew Jupin.
I'm Steven Sadak from the Bronx, which is about 40 minutes away from Brooklyn.
Eric Siska, Brooklyn, baby.
Brooklyn.
Chris, Rise of the Cabin.
Brooklyn.
And we hate movies. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning into this
Brooklyn!
very special.
Brooklyn,
my God.
baby.
Oh my God.
Brooklyn.
That's
right, Brooklyn.
Folks, you can feel the excitement in the air. We are here doing an emergency broadcast episode.
Had to happen.
Had to happen.
Brooklyn.
Keeping the tradition up here. What? Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
I have to say, it's not a tradition. We flubbed our own thing because we never did an episode on Bumblebee.
We did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was basically because we did the last night when that came out. That's when we did all our Transformer episodes.
Right.
And then Bumblebee came out and we were like, eh.
But now
But this is like the return of a Transformers movie.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Bumblebees is like a one-off thing,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's like a separate world, right?
Yeah.
It's a different dimension.
I mean, Bumblebee is from this universe, but they do. What I like about the movie is that they don't constantly beat you over the head. Like, do you know that Optimus Prime is also here, and also Starscream, and who gives a shit?
So Optimus Prime wasn't in the Bumblebees.
I don't remember. He might be in like one scene.
I don't remember. It's been a minute. I don't know if he was
like
in
a
the
flash
One
back.
scene, they just calls him up.
Hey man, how's it going? Wow, that sounds crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty busy over here.
Have a great time.
Bye, Bumblebees.
Do you have a new girlfriend? What's her name?
Haley Steinfeld.
She sounds awful young for you, Bumblebee. I'm just gonna put it out
'cause
there.
These guys are billions of years
They're
old.
billions of years
Quite old.
This movie was directed by Stephen Caple Jr., who you will probably know one thing and one thing only. He directed Creed 2.
Yes.
I think he's just done like music videos.
Did an indie that's not bad called The Land before that. That, I mean, I think that got what's his name? Ryan Coogler's
Coogler, yeah.
interest in him, and that's how Creed 2.
Because I think this dude shot the first. Was he a DP?
that sounds
for
right.
Coogler?
That sounds right.
And he welcomed me to the movies the other day. That was nice.
Oh,
really?
You got a little video?
I did get
Oh,
a
really?
I did
video.
not get a
I
video,
went
so
to the
please
Alamo.
explain this video.
No, it's just sort of like, thanks for coming to see our Transformers movies in theaters. And I went,
Oh,
sure.
Of course.
And, it's the best place to see it. And, we worked really hard. I hope you enjoy all these new designs on the Autobots. And I was like, I didn't see any of those.
Hey, you know what, man? If you want to bring some blueprints next time and tell me what you think changed about these robots.
Exactly. A before
Great.
and after.
It's funny how that beak moves a little bit. Yeah, that's a lot
I
of
will
doing
say,
stuff.
I don't. Maybe it's there in the other movies, but I noticed it more in this one. A fucking Optimus Prime's rocking these windshield titties.
Yeah.
and
Yep.
I love them.
They're pretty cool.
You can see through them a little bit. You play with his windshield wipers. That's like the nipple.
It makes so much sense though because that his nipples would be made of glass because then they're so much more sensitive.
Oh,
There's so much, you know what I mean? It's like the rest of me is metal, but my glass.
Oh, stay away from my glass titties.
Well, that's the thing is
They're
your
fragile.
nipples are always going to be cracked then. I mean,
That's
look at
true.
the shit he's
Then
doing all this.
It's a fetish to get the safe flight guy out there.
Yeah. Fix it for me, Jared.
Dude, yeah, because they got to insert it with like those big suction cups that you see him in the Safe Light commercials.
Look who's got new Hooters.
Come on, Jared, do it slower. I'm trying to enjoy myself.
I've got a double D now. Thank you.
No, Starscream, I can't hang out this weekend. I'm still recovering from the tit job I had last week.
Would you like to watch? Sometimes I like to have my friends watch.
This is the whole point of doing
Yeah,
Transformers.
of
I
course.
should mention, there's some real people. There's real people listening, in addition to the robots.
Oh, in the movie.
That
yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay to like a movie, and if you love this franchise, like more power to you because
Yeah,
you're going to get
whatever.
more power anyway.
Yeah.
Listen to the end. I'm in the middle. Like
Yeah.
I don't love this movie. I don't hate it like with all of my core, but I just kind of never gave a shit about Transformers.
That's
So
the thing. It's like I
You hate
was
it with all your
never
bore.
I was never a big Transformers kid. But, spoiler alert from the end of the episode, like, I didn't hate this, and actually I was kind of fine with it. I mean, we'll get into it. But but here's the thing, folks.
Brooklyn.
Don't
BK.
First of all, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, baby.
First of all,
Brooklyn, baby.
Absolutely. Brooklyn.
The bridge too.
Did anyone get a count? It's got to be humongous.
But it doesn't pick up until
the end of the
third
movie.
act.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
that is just
Like,
nonstop.
You get things like, I never should have left Brooklyn. We in Brooklyn.
Uh-huh.
Brooklyn.
Well, you know why? You know why that fucking is because Elena, who we will get to,
Oh, poor
Dominique
Elena.
Fishback, and the main character, I'm forgetting his name,
Anthony Ramos
Noah.
as Noah.
Victor, they like have nothing to share. There is nothing connecting them other than Brooklyn.
Yes.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
You get these West Coast screenwriters like, how do people in New York talk? Well, they love saying Brooklyn. I know that much.
Especially in the 90s era, because this is a period piece.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah, hi. Hey, man, thanks so much. Yeah, let me get a white slice, get a Jamaican beef patty. It's out Brooklyn, of course. And I'll take a Stewart soda, black cherry, please. Thanks so much.
A side of Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, Sam. Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn, Brian, Brooklyn. And Brooklyn to you.
But Brooklyn is, I think Brooklyn is the most yellable borough.
It is. Oh, yeah.
Right? Because watch this, right? It doesn't work.
What was
Staten
that?
Island.
Staten Island, Manhattan, yeah.
Well, it's more like Staten Island. Queens.
Yeah, you have to be really angry with Queens. You can't just do. You can't like Brooklyn. It's Queens.
Even Bronx,
That's
you
true.
go
That's
boogie
true.
down. You'd always
That's
move
right.
to the. You just say boogie down instead of
Yeah,
the Bronx. People would know what you're talking
Wait,
about.
so it's Boogie Down.
The
to you.
boogie down Bronx, my friend.
Wow,
Yeah, that's
the
where I'm
Boogie
at.
Down Bronx.
That's right. We're getting funky uptown, dude.
Beautiful.
In proud Transformers fashion, we always got to point out the alternate production company openings. This is, of course, Paramount, the proud property owners of this IP. Nothing visually changes, but you do have like robot sounds as the stars are dancing across the screen.
Shit,
Yeah.
robot stars. dude.
Actually, that whole mountain there, that's a Transformer right there.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know it.
And Hasbro, man, that Hasbro title card, because we are entering, which we'll talk about
Hell yes.
for maybe 55 minutes.
Hell yes.
A cinematic universe.
I can't wait.
You know what?
Bring on the garbage.
I was in a virtually empty theater, and it's not a knock against the interest of the movie. It was a 11 a.m. screening on a Friday.
You were so eager.
Of course. Wait, literally all three of you saw it before I did.
I know.
No, but
Well, I did it for work. I don't know why you did it.
what am I doing? Just
Very
sitting here
different
jerking
reasons.
off?
Look, Brooklyn, sorry.
I just yelled, "What?" at that part. We will get to it.
I love it.
I think interesting thing for this movie that I think helps it a lot, and it speaks to the Brooklyn of it all,
Sure.
in a lot of ways, but setting it in 94 allows it to have this fucking awesome hip-hop soundtrack.
They must
which
have spent more money on this than they did on
Dude,
any of the animation.
I'm starting to think that the Spotify stuff and all that must have really hit music rights stuff in a way where it can't be as much because, I mean, this is it's music I like a lot more.
Yeah.
But it is in line with all recent blockbusters.
course.
It's
Jukeboxy.
playlist.
Yeah, it's jukebox.
It's just throw as whenever you have downtime and don't have a creative decision to throw on the screen, put on a song.
But at least this is all like period appropriate curation, and it's not just hodgepodge. Like, sorry, that Gardens 3 soundtrack is not a curated anything.
It's also just so weirdly deployed. Like the first and last song specifically are so weird to open or close a movie. I'm just like, all right, whatever, man.
Yeah, these tunes hit much better, except for there is one part where a Biggie Smalls song is playing, and fucking Pete Davidson as Mirage just yells out, Wu-Tang! And I was like,
I guess
can't.
that might be the joke.
It's a joke.
Is that
I
the,
just
is
put
that
it-
No, no, no,
Listen, he's
because
a very smart performer.
it's
He's
not a
above
joke.
my level. I don't know what he's doing.
No,
with it.
it's not a fucking joke because the song is non-diegetic at that point. So
Okay.
The fucking robot doesn't know what song is on, right? It's not a joke. It's a stupid thing that happens in the movie.
I actually made a note of that, and you guys know that you guys know music in general better than me, and even I spotted that. It was distracting.
It took me right out of it.
So we start on planet, I don't even know what.
The Maximal home
world.
No,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah.
I think I read online that it was a planet that was colonized by Transformers.
Well,
none of that.
I know
That's-
they're suddenly driving their trucks down your street. How would you like
That
it?
is something that they sort of dance into in this movie when Optimus Primal later on, and get a little ahead of ourselves here, but he totally talks about how the Maximals, their whole thing was, we go from planet to planet, all these young planets helping the civilization. Dude, this is ancient alien shit
Yeah.
we're
Got
getting
it.
to here. And I think that's what it is. Like, they just happen to be helping that planet at the time, because it's not
Helping, I'm
Cybertron.
sure.
Just
Yeah.
like the Borg.
Help her.
Yeah,
Just like the Borg.
when an older being finds something young and full of life, it's really helping.
And just help her.
But we do get, there's a little narration here. I think it's from Peter Cullen as
Yeah,
Optimus.
I mean, I couldn't tell you. It's been 3 days.
Far from Brooklyn was a planet known as Brooklyn.
Oh, it must be from Optimus Prime's point of view, because he calls him the vile god Unicron.
Yeah,
that's
and it's all the shit
A little
about.
editorializing, Optimus. Just give me the facts. Give me the straight facts
Yeah,
here.
totally. You know what, Optimus Prime? Why don't you let me make up my own mind about this Unicron?
Okay, God Unicron. The God Unicron.
And which
Yeah.
we learn, which I totally forgot, from the last night, is this is now, not only is this, because this is my question, is this a prequel, or I think we're in an alternate timeline, because in the last night, Earth turns out to be Unicron, if you remember, which you don't, because you watched it 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But no, it's like something we're reawakening Unicron, and it's like, oh my god, Earth is Unicron, bro, and that is what that movie is. So therefore,
Steve, you're making a classic mistake.
okay,
And thinking there's any continuity to any. This is the one franchise where they're like, fuck it.
yeah, got it.
Whatever happened last movie happened. We're
Well,
on
this-
to the next thing.
I mean, it's maybe not a direct prequel, but of course it takes place before the Wahlberg movies
Yeah,
and
sure.
the Shia movies and everything.
Yeah, could Unicron impregnate the Earth?
I don't know.
You know?
But
Possibly.
I don't know.
It seems sexual.
What am I trying to ask anyone? We're just talking about pregnant fucking planets.
Pregnant
God
planets.
damn you.
That's important.
Okay. So the last night, Mark Wahlberg, he's walking
It's-
around.
Oh, I was going to ask Chris, because he's the
Yes.
only other one that saw it. When is Bumblebee supposed to take
It's supposed
place?
to be in the 80s, I think.
It's the 80s, right?
Really?
So
So
that's what I was
This
thinking.
is a
too.
direct sequel to Bumblebee.
Maybe
think so.
early 90s.
Yes.
Maybe early 90s.
This is 94, so that's
Yeah.
If it was like 90, 91, that would make sense.
which is all before that. But again, if Unicron is Earth, then what? If that's, how does that relate
Did the
to
robots know, though, that
Not in
Unicron was
Bumblebee.
Earth the whole time in that last
No,
night
they
movie?
find out, that's the twist of the movie.
Well,
is
so
like-
they don't know. And so they, they're still just thinking they need to get back to their home planet, but they've been on the home planet the whole time.
No, Unicron is the monster, Cybertron.
Bad
you're
planet.
thinking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Cybertron.
Yeah, I
is
know.
Yeah.
So what are you saying?
Unicron, the bad guy in this movie was in the last night was Earth.
Oh,
and the Earth,
is
Earth
just-
can gobble. in that
Exactly.
one.
And he's on
see.
first as well.
Yeah, seriously. Well, to that, I'll just say there's a weird detail at the end of this movie when, fucking spoiler alert, they defeat him, such as it is, and close this portal. Optimus Prime says something about, he's stuck somewhere
Yes.
and he's not. It's sort of like a space between spaces thing,
Yes.
maybe,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
sort of plays into it. I don't know.
Well, there's the thing is none of the robots
Again.
die. None of them can die. The bad
Sure.
guys don't die. In that way, it's like the cartoon. We battled and now we're fucking off.
You know what? No, one robot could die. This ape link eats shit at the beginning of this
yes.
movie.
Ape-Link eats shit, and also Michelle Yeoh's
Birdie boy there.
whatever the
Bird
I don't
boyfriend?
know.
You got a bird boyfriend?
Ravenclaw.
That'd be-
No, that's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the name
I
of
don't
her?
know, but let's talk
That
about
thing.
that.
She
Ares.
gets murdered. Air Razor. There it
Air
is.
Razor.
Air Razor totally gets murdered.
Oh, okay.
Also,
I think Ape Link looks awful.
He
It's
does
got like
look terrible.
hair plugs or something.
Yeah. Not great.
It looks
Oh no,
terrible.
no ape link. No one can tell. It looks great.
hey, Starscream, did you see what Ape Link's doing over there? I mean, I told them nobody can notice, but come on, man,
I mean,
open your eyes.
leave him alone. It's been working with the ladies. It's about confidence, not necessarily reality.
You're right. If it's fine for him, it doesn't matter what we think.
Did you see that piece of ass he picked up the other day?
Just a quick question: Can he get it wet or what? Like, is it a weird thing where is it gonna come off in the rain?
I was thinking of having a pool party this summer, but I don't want to invite him and make him feel uncomfortable having to possibly swim.
Just a huge black puddle around him.
Oh God, his hair dye's dripping off like Rudy Giuliani.
We learn so the Ape Link is a buddy of our friend Optimus Primal, voiced by Ron Perlman.
Right.
Ron Perlman with the modulation, it just sounds like
useless.
your speakers are blown out.
What's
Totally.
What's the fucking
pull up to the first window?
Give me a hamburger. No, I mean, there's no fucking point. Why would you hire names like this? Because you only really want it to have, say, like, Ron Perlman's in our movie.
Yes.
Fucking Michelle Yeoh's in our movie.
Yes.
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage is in our
I watched
movie.
this movie days ago because I was so excited. And I had no idea Peter Dinklage was in it until right now.
Of course not, because it does, like, literally in this case, it's only about the names, but the names aren't even used in the promotional material. It's for people who are on IMDb, be like, oh my God, that was Peter Dinklage.
Exactly.
The
Like,
only one that sounds like you could definitely tell is Pete Davidson.
well, yeah.
Because it's just all Pete Davidson.
Let him riff. Let him riff,
Here's
baby.
a little. It's not. I was surprised Pete Davidson could do this.
Yes.
Because usually Pete Davidson's so low energy. That's his thing. It's like, I'm just here to get fucking coke and pussy. How's it going, guys?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But for him to do a pretty family friendly, like big boisterous character,
Well, he did.
I didn't enjoy it, but I was surprised that he could do it.
Family friendly though. I mean, he's got that one joke about you were inside me.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, and once again, cut to me in the theater yesterday morning. What?
I was surprised. I just in terms of him getting to that cadence and like doing a real voice.
I totally agree with you, and I wonder if it's a thing where he's just a dude that's like grossly uncomfortable on camera, and it's like, you know, because he started as a stand-up,
Sure.
and so like, you know, you don't got to be worrying about cameras there, and then you get into like SNL, and all of a sudden you're like being filmed everywhere, and he's like awful in, you know, Fast X, that bullshit cameo that he's got there.
Yeah.
I like him in Bodies, but that's like exactly what he should be doing. In a
Yes.
movie.
Right, you know, accidentally
him
fucking
from,
cutting his own throat. Yeah,
I know him from TV commercials. It seems like that's
Taco
his
Bell.
main job.
He's
right?
good at that as
But
well.
but I don't know. Even in those, he seems like, I wish I didn't have the cameras on me. And I think for this, where it's like he's just in a recording studio and he can kind of do whatever. Maybe some of that like self-aware nervousness
I
kind of
think
goes away.
He needs to be. I think it's kind of a good. I mean, it's not good, but it's an example for a lot. Like, I can also do nothing and be everywhere. I can also be a lazy piece of shit and just be famous for being funny. Like, I understand. Like, I like Pete Davidson, I think, more than most people in this room. And I even get like the whole thing is he puts no effort in. Like, that's the whole thing until something like this where I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
like he seems to actually be.
Look what happens if
early.
he tries.
Yeah.
So we learned the whole thing is they are trying to protect this transwarp key from getting into the hands of Unicron, because if he gets that, he can jump throughout space and time and eat planets much faster.
Huge
than he
coup
does
from
now.
Bad Dragon for designing this transwarp key. It's a really
I don't know
beautiful
what that
looking
meant. I don't know
dildo.
what you're
They're a
referencing.
dildo company.
Oh.
They are
Thanks, Steve.
no problemo. They are a dildo company. that
Is this an
designs-
ad? Is it sponsored by them? or-
Double-sided. It does work. It looks really nice.
Yeah, you
Reach
can do some
out.
ass to ass. in
They
this.
design like monster dildos. Like dildos like a monster might.
I would love to
Oh.
advertise monster dildos on the program.
Sure,
so
totally.
Reach out.
If you want to
out.
be fucked like a character in a Japanese cartoon,
Mhm.
you buy these dragon dicks. Yeah, it does look like a big neon orange dildo.
Yes,
once
it
this
does.
thing is all put
It
together.
does,
here.
yes. But of course, it's first. Well, okay, it's here. Here, it's on. It's not. This is before it's in the Maltese Falcon, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We are.
Yes.
We are still on this,
And it's uncut at this point too.
yeah.
By the way. Speaking
Yes.
of it,
we're still on the maximal homeworld
Right.
here, or colony, or who the fuck?
because
knows
you know
what it's
Scourge is just beating the shit out of Ape Link, and he's just like, everyone can tell. And it's like, no.
yeah, and then he like rips his arms off and steals his like little logo.
Oh. Sure, Ape Link, you can have the transwarp key. You just have to get it. at the bottom of the deep end of this swimming pool. No.
Scourge, by the way, looking like Super Shredder.
Yeah, very super shreddery.
Well, they all look
Scourge-
like that.
The leader of the Terrorcons, we're told.
The
And Scourge has something
Terrorcons.
going on at the end, like he removes a faceplate and his mouth is all fucked up.
Because he was burned. Something happened to his
Oh.
actual like Transformer face, and he has
Got
like an MF Doom thing going
Yes,
on
you're right,
over
yeah.
his
And
face.
I just got to get in here now real quick with the Unicron and Scourge thing. So it's a
Okay.
god being
Yes.
that can
Which also just looks like a robot, by the way.
that
It's a
devours
robot guy.
planets.
I see where you're going.
And
Oh,
before
okay.
it devours planets, it sends
Mhm.
a really super strong herald of sorts
Yes.
to let the planet know that things are going to go down and to destroy any weaknesses on that planet. It's a lot like Galactus and the Silver Surfer. It's a lot like the Galactus and the Silver Surfer.
It is,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to sit here and argue about which came first or if this was part of Transformers
No,
lore or
it
whatever.
absolutely came in first.
Well, it's
I'm
a
just
chicken
going to
and egg.
say-
We can never really know.
no, we can.
I'm just going to say they're grossly similar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
They
where
are gross.
Marvel should be like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Part of me?
Brooklyn. So this Unicron planet eater comes. It looks like the Death Star if it was like eating out Alderaan. You know?
Uh-huh.
Like before it fucks it over, it's going to
Because
give
it just
a little-
goes in. It
Yeah,
kind of
nose
goes
in first. So yeah, it's from the back. So nose goes in
and it's got
first.
that little whole mouth that's
It's
like getting up in those mountains.
Dude, it just looks like a puckered asshole. That's
Yeah.
about
It
to
does.
eat this planet. It's like intergalactic chocolate starfish, dude.
Right.
That's what we're dealing
Do you
with
think
here.
people are sexually attracted to Unicron?
Probably.
Somebody's got to be.
Someone's doing DeviantArt.
that fucking dildo company probably
The
made it's
dildo
like
company.
it's like a fleshlight
oh, you
thing.
can
It's a
fuck
part
the thing.
flashlight, and it's also it could be a vibrating egg because
Yeah.
it's got that shape to it.
I do wonder how long like Colman Domingo spent like hours a day perfecting the Unicron voice for
Yeah.
sure, and
Oh,
like
boy.
really like getting into the character,
Putting
you know?
on the weight.
Yeah.
And all that, yeah.
Exactly. Like, oh man, my wife won't talk to me anymore, man. I just got way too into Unicron last summer.
Colman Domingo ate 6 hard-boiled planets a day.
Yeah, his belt size equator.
No, baby, they're planets. No, it's fun that you do it for the kid. That the egg's a planet. It's a planet.
I'm
Janine.
getting into this role, Janine. But so the whole thing is the planet starts getting destroyed here, and the Maximals are all like, all right, we're going to use the transwarp key to get out of here. This planet cannot be saved. And Ape Lincoln,
Yeah.
Ape Link.
Oh, dude, Abraham Lincoln should have been in this movie.
Why the hell not at this point?
Yes.
So Ape Link is like, all right, everybody, all my Maximal buddies here, we sacrifice everything for the mission. So I'm going to stay behind, cause a distraction with Scourge. You guys get the hell out of here. And here comes this Scourge. This fucking Ape Link doesn't even put up a fight, man.
No,
Honest to God, he
what a
dies
loser.
instantly.
It's
What a
like this
fucking
thing, it's like,
loser.
oh, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
He really gets
asshole.
short work of Ape Link.
And I
Yeah.
know, I understand that we are told later in the film that Unicron is putting like dark energy into these hitmen here. So they are stronger.
Excuses.
Exactly, dude. I mean, this fucking gorilla doesn't even throw a punch.
No.
He's murdered, and the planet gets eaten, and boom, they all fuck off.
They
And,
escape on the Rainbow Bridge.
and
Oh,
wouldn't you
thank
believe
God.
it? They wind up on planet Earth.
Oh,
1994. How nice of them.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But
Let
no,
me
they came here hundreds and thousands of years ago.
Sure.
get- right. Yes. Yes.
Ron probably been cooling his heels in Peru apparently forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, like with the Ape Link, I do kind of understand that thinking because you're like, well, I'm going to die now.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis, when he makes the decision in Armageddon, he might as well piss on that fucking rock. I mean, like, he's like, well, I'm going to die.
That
It's
would
going to
be
happen.
Insane. Could you imagine like take an outer space taking out your Johnson?
Yeah.
there?
Press the button and then pull your pants down.
and then instantly the space like freezes it and smushes it. And
Yeah.
blood shoots out.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I might pop that helmet off as the nuke
Really?
is coming.
Yeah.
Just to smell it for 4 seconds.
Exactly. Just get a big whiff of space. I would say you probably should pull your pants down before you push the button, though.
They
That's just-
should.
Well, you might not be able to.
You push the button with your cold ass. You sit on the button with your ass.
They should have cyanide pills for astronauts. You know, if stuff goes south.
Dude, I bet there's a thing where it's like,
probably
look,
there.
if you're up there
Yeah.
and you encounter some vicious aliens, not like Vulcans and whatnot, like some real nasty greys.
Probe happy guys.
You pop out your false astronaut tooth and bite down.
Exactly.
Transformers have the same thing. It's a sugar cube, actually. It goes right in the gas tank. It fucks up the whole thing.
Let me drink this can of Diet Cola.
No, don't!
So let's go to 1984. Brooklyn. 94,
Brooklyn,
excuse me. But I should say
Brooklyn.
that was a point of confusion.
Brooklyn.
Early in the morning, the caffeine hadn't kicked in yet. The thing comes up. I read 84.
Oh, okay.
And then immediately you see we're introduced to Noah Diaz, played by Anthony Ramos. And there's just a huge Wu-Tang flag. And I was like,
well, that's
what the fuck? And then no, it is 94. I just read that wrong.
Cream is playing the famous.
And I think he's pretty good in this role.
Ramos, I like him.
Yeah,
I liked
he's
him
good.
in The Heights too, even though I didn't like In the Heights that
movie
much.
isn't worth a goddamn IMO, but I thought he was pretty okay with it. The little brother is also in The Heights.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's one of the little kids, like at the end of the movie when he's like telling the story.
So he was
maybe that's
just born then, I guess.
Yeah, it's
in
popped
94.
right out.
Well, no. I mean, like in the Heights was a while ago. Right?
Oh yeah, no, he's a much little. I think he's probably like 5 years old.
very
2
tiny,
years,
like-
2, 3
Because he
years.
can't be. What? He's probably like 12 years old
Like
in this movie.
5
this kid?
inches in that movie.
And Luna Lauren Velez.
Oh right, she's having a big year.
Battling it out as two bewildered Latina mothers in 2 movies and the top the box office. She's also the mom from Spider-Verse.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I like her.
So yeah, he Noah's like a electronics tinkerer kind of guy.
Which comes to nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
TV VCR repair. You'd think like in the end he'd like fucking rebuild Mirage himself or
That
something.
might have been good screenwriting, Eric. That
he
just
literally
might have been.
does.
Does he?
Dude, did you walk out?
I did.
So this here's what I'm really curious about, because there's a little like mid-credit sequence that happens.
Didn't see it. Wait, I don't know. Wait, maybe.
There's 2.
Yeah. Okay.
There's one,
there's one.
after,
Take me
and
through.
then there's a mid-credit one. There's 1 and 1.
Yeah, the mid-credit one
Yeah,
is
yes.
what I'm talking about.
Is
When it's in
the
garage.
job interview one?
No,
That's
because
the one I
that's
saw.
just the
That's-
final
yeah,
scene
you
of the
didn't see
movie.
the second
That's
one.
not
Not
a
a
anything.
second.
That and then I saw it was like boom, here's the music again. It says Transformers the end, and I'm like, I am out of here.
This is what I have to ask you about. This is what I'm trying to get out of my mouth.
What's that?
How fast are you getting out of this fucking theater? Because it's no more than like 20 seconds of
It's
credit.
pretty quick. You were booking.
You were
it.
I was-
racing, dude.
I was out of there, dude.
Do you have a little too much Dr. Pepper?
I
in you?
didn't listen. I didn't know how long the liquor store was going to stay open. Yeah. We all have things to do.
But he literally does rebuild
He
Mirage,
literally
which does,
fixed him.
which I mean, again, kind of because the stinger doesn't count. Like he needs to do something at the end of the movie, like, oh no, there's no way we'll solve this electronic problem. Noah, fix it.
I need to see wires. Even if you're going to
Yes.
count the fucking bullshit half credit scene,
Yes.
you don't see. It's just like, I did it.
Yes.
Did you see? It's finished and done.
You need to see him go to fucking automotive school? Is that
No,
what
I
you're
need to
saying?
see him taking a wire. I'm like, here's something to
Him
do.
actually repairing something
Yes.
in the climax of the movie might have helped.
Oh, you're
And-
talking about the climax of the movie.
Either way, like literally either way, to see the work of it. Like that's the point, is to see the work.
It's just because these human characters have nothing.
Nothing.
So
Nothing. But this is the way
have
they
nothing,
should
yeah.
be. They should be shells of people
And
that you don't care about.
I mean, he's got good character motivation with this whole thing with the kid, but the kid is maybe
Quite
too much.
annoying. Yeah.
But also the library lady or
yes,
museum lady.
Yeah.
Elena, who they named 40 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
Dude, what a mistake.
We don't name her until that. And maybe I missed it if it was earlier, but she doesn't need to be in the movie.
No,
She kind of doesn't need to be.
She's the
don't-
best actor here, I
Sure,
think.
sure.
But her character.
These
doesn't really make
characters
sense.
could be combined, or it could be her movie instead of
Yes.
his movie.
And
Right.
also, I'll say it again, which I always say, which is probably whatever, but like, they could also get together. You know what I mean? At the end of the movie,
That's true.
they're inside this
Whoa, whoa,
fucking
whoa, whoa, whoa,
place.
whoa.
Are you trying to force the two people? Can't they be friends, Steven?
That's also for mommies and daddies.
That is for mommies and daddies.
I don't think they're mommies and daddies.
You have that,
they
like-
can't
I don't
kiss.
need a transform. I don't need a Michael Bay shot of Dominique Fishback's fucking labia. I would like her to like kiss a man. You know what I
Steve is
mean?
referring to all of those shots of Megan Fox
Yes.
in those
Yes.
movies. If you
Yeah.
don't remember our complaint department rants
I'm
about
just
those
letting
things.
you know.
He's not just saying that to say it.
I missed
remember-
that scene in fucking Swarm, I guess.
Before you start defending Michael Bay up and down, which, he has his moments, but apparently Megan Fox called him Adolf Hitler while working on those movies.
Might be a little over the top, maybe.
Yeah.
Certainly got under Steve Spielberg's skin. He wasn't too
Oh, yeah,
happy
he
about
was
that.
not.
He was
Not
happy
too
about
thrilled
that.
when you
No,
throw
no,
that
no,
one
no.
around.
Can't throw that around. So
but-
anyway, yes.
But so the little kid they've got a cute thing, which is also like, this is a little too much, speaking of the music as well, but like, man, I love the 90s because we're doing Sonic and Tails,
Oh, yeah.
and the kids wearing a Power Ranger shirt.
You
Like,
see all the the there's a lot of good needle drops, but also when we're introduced, you see like tapes of different like very major hip hop records. De La Soul's the first on 3 Feet High, and
which I do appreciate.
Right,
At the very
right,
least,
yes.
at the very least, we're specific about it. Like these are Latina characters in Brooklyn. What are they listening to? It's not like, oh man, look at no. It's like, here's Biggie Smalls, here's Stone Temple Pilots. Like, you know what I mean? Like, keep that
Right.
shit out of here. Like, it should all be.
There's a thread that works, and also like again to using real songs. It's like, he goes out. I think they live in Bed-Stuy, and it's like
Brooklyn.
Yes.
I
Bed-Stuy. Brooklyn.
just want to let
Bed-Stuy,
people
do or die.
know Bed-Stuy is, people might
That's
not
right.
know this, for the folks at home, is in Brooklyn. It's
It
a
is.
neighborhood.
New York,
in
Brooklyn, New York.
Well, no, Brooklyn, New York, baby. Brooklyn, baby.
Yes,
That's
that
what
sounds
it's-
right.
That's what we write on our letters.
Made famous by the notorious B.I.G., Spike Lee, and so on. But they're going out into this world, and real music that you would hear on the street at the time is
Yes.
happening instead of just like,
Yes.
just like
Yeah.
nothing, just beat music.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of cool. But here's the thing: Sonic and Tails, that's a neat little, thing
Cute.
with brothers or whatever. But all you see this kid playing is that Game Boy, and I
Yes.
was like, "Where's the Genesis?"
yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
all you were getting Sonic and Tails on at the time, my friends.
Get some
true.
Toe Jam and Earl going.
Oh,
get some
sure.
Booger Man
Hey,
going.
Toe Jam, this is Earl. It doesn't have as nice of a ring to it.
Mario's Luigi, that'd be fun.
Kirby and his suck. Remember Kirby? He was
Hey,
big.
hey, suck! It's me, Kirby. Come on in.
He was huge on Game Boy. All I'm saying.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta stop you, dude. You keep naming clay fighters at me. I don't remember that game, man. You're yelling the snowman. I don't know what that shit is.
We rented Clay Fighters one time from the bodega, and I didn't like it, and you played it a lot, and I kept telling you, I don't know these characters.
And Crinkle Cut, that's a character. That's a character in the thing? Okay. I thought that was just a fry type.
Yeah. Well, fry types would be good. You could be shoestring and,
Oh, yeah.
waffle.
Steak.
Yeah.
Oh,
steak.
shoestring, come in, it's steak.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, we got a potato detectives or
Oh,
something.
dude.
We'll do one day.
Potato detective.
I think that's a show they have on, Irish television.
No, that's gonna be the new Pixar movie. I don't want to be a steak fry.
I'm more of a waffle guy. Let's go on an adventure about it.
It turns out the sweet potato fries were on the take.
Dude, that fucking Elemental movie just looks like donkey
I
shit.
just saw the trailer for it
Yeah.
before this. Actually,
It looks like the
first
Emoji
time.
movie. It looks a lot
It
like
looks,
the Emoji.
yeah, it looks terrible. It looks
Looks-
like most of these movies.
Emoji movie blended with Inside Out, essentially, is what that whole
Yeah,
thing
you're
is.
totally right.
But he's about the kid has sickle cell anemia,
Correct.
and it's very expensive on the family. The mother is just like she's like, I am out of the movie. I'll talk to
She
you guys
works.
later."
That's
she-
all I know.
yeah,
is
she
she works, and we know that she goes to night school. That's
Yes, there you
that's
go.
her thing. Is like, you boys remember, I'm going to be at class
Yes.
tonight,
Sure.
so you can go out and have Transformer adventures, and
Exactly.
I won't be wondering where
I'll
you
see
are.
you in the third act.
I do
Yeah.
think like it's nice to have these human drama moments in
Sure.
this movie to give me something to glom on.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's this kind of setting where it's like small family, sick kid trying to get by, mother going to school. That's like a thing versus like Sam Witwicky's going to college.
Yeah,
His
exactly.
parents are embarrassing.
See,
Yeah.
exactly, because this has actual struggle in this, which much more interesting. Also, interestingly enough, and this is true, folks at home, in the United States, to get health care, you
Yeah.
got to save the fucking world.
Dude,
Yes, you do.
got to team up with a bunch of fucking space robots, save the world, and then your brother is taken care of.
It is way more believable that space robots would help you with your healthcare costs than the U.S. government.
Excuse me, Eric. How else are we supposed to fuel ambition? How
true.
else are we
That's
supposed
true.
to do it other
'Cause,
than
otherwise
kill people?
he would be too lazy to steal,
Exactly.
and then
Yes.
too lazy to get
He
into the
wouldn't
robot
want to
adventure.
work. He wouldn't want. It's not people.
Nobody wants to
Nobody
work.
gets actual value from work. Are you fucking crazy?
Oh my God, wait a minute. I can't believe my car-shaped ears. You're telling me that this boy will be denied a bed for he cannot afford the cost of said bed? That's disgusting.
You know what, Unicron? Come in and take it. Let's go, baby.
Back it up, Unicron. Back it up. Get that space asshole right above the United States of America and start sucking.
Can I ride you in? Can we get it so I get on top of you with a hat and start swinging it around while you fuck the planet?
It is. I mean, you're right, dude.
Yeah.
You're right. The
would
only
love-
way this kid lives is because his brother saved the day.
Exactly. And to Chris' point, I would love to see a robot in a hat.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see that
Yeah,
often.
no beheaded robots.
You just got Spider-Man in a hat recently,
Yeah.
so yeah, you got to wait a little bit.
It would be truly fantastic if one of these movies was like the next one. It's like, all right, Noah, we must go undercover, and it's just a robot. And he's got a little hat on.
He's pretending to be like one of like a like big city barbecue on the freeway, the big sign. Nope, just a sign.
Don't mind me. It's an advertisement.
But so like he has to drop the kid off at the hospital, and he also has this big job interview. We also meet his like kind of ne'er-do-well buddy who he gives a hot cable box. That was like a specific reference that took me back a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially
Twizzler
living in
Man?
New York. What's that?
Twizzler Man, you mean?
Well, yeah,
right?
yeah, but giving someone a hot getting stolen cable as a
Oh,
thing.
oh, please.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I wonder if that's why I was inspired to rewatch The Cable Guy last night after seeing this movie.
But so he gives him like a hot box. He's like, hey man, if you want to ever want to make some real money, talk to me later in the movie. He's like, I probably will, because today's not going to go so great. And he goes, the kid gets kicked out of the hospital because he doesn't have enough money, which is amazing.
This fucking stone cold piece of shit lady is just like, well, you're gonna have to take your disgusting sick brother and get him out of my hospital until your bills are paid, mister.
Yeah. And this is how it is in America. Isn't it awesome?
This kid is sitting there like, my arm is not working right now. I can't grip things with
well,
my
then
arm.
ask the person next to you to open the door and get
Yeah.
the fuck out.
Help each other. Come on. Let's all help each
Exactly.
other.
There's also the Twizzler fellow. Reek is his name?
Twizzler
Yes, he's
Man.
the
I've just been
character.
called him Twizzler
Reek
Man.
has some lines that sound like they were written on Twitter today
Oh yeah.
about the vampiric capitalism,
Yes,
the modern
it's-
day capitalism, which is like, I agree with everything he's saying, but it seems a little heavy.
It's a little heavy,
much.
especially for 1994.
This dude,
Yes,
he's some
very
rapper, rapper or something. His name's Tobe Nwigwe.
Mhm.
I'd never heard of him until this movie. I thought he was like funny enough.
Yeah, it's good.
Doing what he's doing.
We cut to the New York Museum of Archaeology located on Ellis Island. Hey, whatever the fuck.
Okay.
is
Yes. So this is how, now this is why you thought it was an alternate dimension. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Because this just Ellis Island is all the immigration stuff,
Yes,
and the
that's
museum
about
there
it.
is about immigration. There's
Yeah.
no
At
fucking
least make
science
it
museum.
Roosevelt Island or something. I could see
That's what I thought it was at first.
Since that's now, I guess, developing into a school of some kind. But
Were you not allowed to use the name of any other museum in the New York area?
Just
Like,
the Met. Just
like,
call
what
it the
the fuck?
Met.
Like,
I think
natural
that's-
history or
That's shit
something?
that you're paying for.
Oh, yeah, I got
And
you.
that's like, oh, you want to use the Natural History Museum and what? Oh, I don't think so.
yeah.
But they.
well, good for them for having standards.
This is when we meet the nameless Elena, because she doesn't have a name at this point. Maybe
No.
maybe there might be a close up on her key card when she's coming in that you might get it, but because her boss is just calling her like her boss is a piece of shit. This is Dominique Fishback is Elena. Her boss is a piece of shit. It's like, oh, intern, I need this. Intern, I need that. I'm like, the intern knows more than the boss. Like, there's this
Sure.
scene wherein like there was a heist of a art,
Which
What-
can I
what-
watch
what-
that movie? Can I watch
Yeah.
this Thomas Crown affair that's happening?
Well, it's one of those weird things where like we lump a bunch of this shit together as if it's all the same profession.
Yes, exactly.
So it's like the FBI had this huge raid and they need us to, qualify whether or not this stuff is legit. And one of them is like a gigundo painting of some kind.
Yes.
And then there's all these like tiny little trinkets and artifacts.
Arrowheads and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, and Dominique Fishback is able to be like, oh, yeah, well, that painting's a fake because it's hanging in the whatever gallery and all these little, trinkets and other things are and I was like, the painting thing has to go. One of these things is not just because this woman knows about like artifacts and how is she going to pinpoint a fake painting?
Andrew, when anybody is undervalued in their work, they are, of course, this world's greatest genius.
Yes.
That is just equal that side to that side.
Which you could still do. And I totally get because, of course, that stuff happens all the time. But like, one, take the painting out. And two, as far as the name thing goes, yes, that gag works because she's a piece of shit boss that undervalues this woman who has like a college education in, this field of archaeology and everything. You need like the janitor to come in or some other assistant or something and call this woman by her name. I'm telling you, it's like 35 minutes until a robot asks her name.
Well, they know the value of labor, not so much in the museums.
Like Air Razor is finally just like, oh, and by the way, what is your name, young lady? I was like, fucking finally, robot.
Are you that girl from The Deuce? Yes, you're the girl from The Deuce, of course.
So this heist is curious to me because I guess somewhere had actual stuff and forgeries together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some guy's house. Like, what is this?
I
Maybe
kind
they
of
were selling
expected
stuff.
I foolishly expected that to come back in the movie at some point, like to be like, oh, and that was the Decepticons trying to find the whatever or something.
Sure, yeah.
Or the Terrorcons. Apologies.
There should be like we should lean into the whole art thing. Like maybe there's an auction for like a Model T car.
Yes.
And it's like fucking Optimus Prime is like, buy her. It's my great grandmother.
But in this too, this is where one of the things that she's asked to look at is indeed a Maltese Falcon looking thing. And, she starts analyzing it, getting very Indiana Jones about it. Like, this looks like it's from here, but there's some, she realized almost instantly there's some sort of mystery attached to this thing.
It is fucking incredible that you are so creatively bankrupt that you can't even figure out your own MacGuffin. You have to go with the most famous MacGuffin that's ever been fucking made.
It makes it clever again. Yeah.
Homage.
Yes. You know what?
Rip-offs.
Why don't we tighten it up with the homages, folks?
Exactly.
Because the line between homage and rip-off is real thin these days.
I get it when it's a shot. It's a similar shot you use. That's an homage. When you're like, we're just going to use the thing from the other thing and put it in our movie.
Right.
That's
a bit different.
Homage meet mirage.
When Optimus Prime gets here, he's going to be mighty pissed off that it's buried his mission.
Hey, Optimus, want a cigarette? So Noah goes for this job interview. He's turned down. This is where we briefly learned that he has had some sort of experience in the army, and
which
that
sort of comes into place, or
which it sort of makes sense why he's like agile and able to fight at the end of the movie, I guess.
Sure.
But like this dude, this security firm or something is just like, yeah, I called your former commanding officer, and he said you daydream a lot, so no job for you.
Well,
kid.
it was this Gulf War I. There was plenty of time to daydream. That's what we did.
Would we lose like a dozen people in that conflict? Tops?
Yeah, that was just because they tripped on their shoelaces.
We're all daydreaming, writing fan fiction, just having fun with it. I do think this is the only time the movie ever references like race a little bit, because he's like, do it if you're going to do it, because he's just like, I'm not going to have someone like you come in here and ruin something that we built. And then he's like, someone like me, end of scene. Yep. And you never see this guy ever again. Maybe when that toxic cloud comes, like he gets like fucking destroyed by something.
Yeah.
Where he gets sucked. He's the only guy that gets sucked up by Unicron. Like, no!
Why was it just me?
That should be a stinger scene after he's recruited by G.I. Joe. Spoiler alert. He can go up and like shoot that guy.
Yeah.
That would be great. That would be great. Yeah. Well, you want, because like if he's not going to get this job anyway, you want this character to go off on this guy to show that he's got balls.
Exactly.
And,
hey, man,
is capable of saving the world later.
I mean, if at the end, like Noah has like a really good business, and this guy's like, hey, do you have I actually my business closed.
Yes,
can you give me a and then he does allow him on his work because he's the bigger guy.
Yeah.
That would be something.
And then he's calling him intern.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, Dominique Fishback's just on the side doing the books.
But now, because he got turned down for this legitimate job, he kind of does a little bit of what do you call it there? George Clooney out of sight. He rips his tie off and throws it on the floor. No, but he's like, I'm going to go into a life of crime because my family needs money, and this is how we're going to do it.
Exactly.
The funny thing about Twizzler Man and
Reek.
Noah, I'm calling him Twizzler Man. That's
all right.
That's his whole thing. Is he's always sucking on a Twizzler.
Yeah.
And when he's like, come to me whenever you want. Like, I know you're an electrician. Come to me whenever you want to become a burglar.
Yes.
I was so like, is he gonna like rewire a security
another
system
yes.
or
That could be
something
something.
interesting? But he's like, no, you just want to become a criminal. Like,
It was weird that all of a sudden this was stealing a car because of the way it's set up. Like they're sitting in a car outside of this big venue, and we're talking about like, Reek is saying like, rich people donate tons of money to causes to make themselves feel good all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to miss this. But and I was like, oh, he's like robbing some charity ball or something.
Yeah,
that would be
like
cool.
Mission Impossible kind of thing. This is interesting.
all of Gotham's firstborn dead.
Yeah.
And then when he
awesome.
he breaks into the back and he's going through this kitchen, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is going to be something. And then it's like, boom, he's in a parking garage just boosting this car. It's
This
like,
Porsche.
all right, yeah. So
Not only that, like
yeah.
they say that it was there for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it has literally nothing to do with the charity auction whatsoever.
No,
Why
it's not
even
a-
mention it?
yeah,
It's a great question.
No clue.
Also, was Mirage just like mellowing out for a couple of weeks? Like,
I guess so. He one of those Pete
Yeah.
Davidson days, if you know what I'm saying.
Had too much premium. I got high on that
he
shit.
smoked too much marijuana.
he does. I heard that he likes that stuff.
Yeah, he likes that stuff.
That's something.
Yeah, that's really fucking dangerous.
So he breaks into the car, and it's he's trying to jack the lock up, and it's closing on itself. So we got ourselves an Autobot here, folks. And this is kind of cool. Like he gets locked in the car. The security guard comes up, like, get out of the car. And this is right when Optimus Prime starts sending the word out.
Because
Yes.
something
These two scenes are happening
Yes.
concurrently.
Yeah,
Dominique Fishback at
it's
the
like
museum.
fucking with the Maltese Falcon. It crumbles apart, turns into the Bad Dragon dildo.
She's
and,
scanning it for something
Yes.
and it awakens it.
and
Yes.
it lets up a beacon into the sky.
Correct. And fucking Optimus Prime is like sitting back watching an episode of Seinfeld, just like, wait a minute. What is that? Oh, hang on.
What are all these? That's a great question. Because what are all of these Autobots doing in New York in the mid '90s?
Well, it was the place to be, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we're
know
just-
where the action is.
we were just bumming around in coffee shops, hanging out.
LA is over. New York is where it's at.
No one told me there'd be days like this. My job's a joke. I'm broke. My love life is DOA. It feels like I'm always stuck in second gear. I should have that looked at, actually.
This is
No.
It's like slam poetry events you could go to. It's awesome.
Which is funny, though, because at some point, to get to that 2007 Transformers, which is in California, I think.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's what, people, they stay in New York for a long time, and then they're just,
Yep.
the weather gets to them, and they're like, what, I'm just going to go out to California.
there's
a
like a
cyclical
gig that
thing.
comes along, so we have to move west. The show is filming in California.
I haven't gotten famous in New York. Surely I will in California.
Only one of two, Vivian.
I just don't. They're just all hanging around. They're like, oh shit, the beacon's right there. They're all in New York.
It's very
Oh,
convenient. you're right.
Chicago. That's a joke. You can't make it in Chicago, Vivian. Are you crazy?
Oh, wow. 94, he's going to have to bite his tongue a little bit, right? Didn't a lot of SNL casts come from...
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's that,
Chicago?
Yeah.
before the big improv is just starting here right now, actually.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, Vivian. Me becoming a physical comedian. God damn it.
I would watch him fall on a coffee table.
Absolutely. Whoops.
He just destroys the whole theater.
Well, isn't that special?
Well, we have to reconstruct the theater for the 5th time this season. Because Optimus decided to go off.
Vivian, I'm not going on television and saying swing. It's not funny.
That Farley guy's gonna be here forever.
Yeah, so Optimus, right as this car is being jacked,
Yeah.
said, calling all Autobots, you won't fucking believe what happened. And so this,
Chandler has a date and it's not going well. We need to go to the coffee shop and talk it out.
man, what I wouldn't give to sit on that big couch someday.
Bumblebee, you're going to have to be a distraction for the other date. Keep her waiting outside. Say that the table isn't ready yet.
Chandler Bing, your gay panic is quite distressing.
My God, Bumblebee, count how many times lesbians are the butt of a joke on this show. It's ridiculous. So the car takes off and is going to the destination that Optimus has asked them to go to. And I like this chase scene here with the cops, coming after the car and everything. And we're doing a lot of, fancy driving on the Williamsburg Bridge. And it's the actual... It's Williamsburg Bridge. They got the right bridge. That's nice.
Yeah, and the mirage happens where he splits into multiple cars in order to kill a police officer, which definitely happens.
Oh, yep, 100%.
That dude's dead, but it's important to realize these are the old style New York police officers.
Right.
Not that there's ever been a difference, but
cars, you mean?
The cars.
Well,
the blue,
color, right?
The blue and the white.
Was it always NYC police? That doesn't seem right.
They probably couldn't say NYPD because that's a branded thing.
Yeah. And this was it was funny because I didn't know at this point where Pete Davidson fell into the movie. And the only reason I even knew Pete Davidson was in the movie was because of Eric's Letterboxd review.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Pete Davidson shows up somewhere in this movie. And I fully expected just to see that dude's mug somewhere in this movie. And when the car started talking like Pete Davidson, I was like, ruh-roh.
Yeah.
It turned out to be better than I expected, but I was like, oh man, he's doing voice work.
But I mean, like, the character is so plucky and so jokey. It gets to be a lot.
Yeah.
When he sees Optimus Prime, he's like, hey, are those new ribs? I'm like, I want to be dead.
But so we get to this little warehouse where all they're meeting,
and
it's kind of funny.
Brooklyn, you think?
It is, because they go over the Williamsburg Bridge.
Oh, you're right. It is in Brooklyn. All right, Brooklyn, baby.
That's
No, that's a warehouse.
It's kind of funny because Noah tries to act all tough to Mirage, and it's just there's this one shot where Pete Davidson's like, "Oh yeah, you think you're tough?" and it's like a robot shoving a huge cannon in this kid's face, which is pretty great. I kind of like that. But so the rest of the Autobots that are around show up here. So you got, of course, Optimus Prime, of course, Bumblebee. You got
Motorcycle Lady,
which is AC, I think the name is
RC.
RC. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's which is the weird. I want like an up close sort of inspection of what this Autobot is
lady?
because it's a fake person on the motorcycle. So like if that helmet comes up, is there a face in there, or is it just like empty?
It's empty. I think it's it's part of the hologram.
That would be kind of cool to see the little visor on the helmet come up, and it's just nothing.
Just
in it.
TV static.
But it would be cool. Just turn into people, or like little big robot people. Or
I mean, they do.
I guess
do
they
that.
are
Eventually,
big robot
they
people.
eventually do that.
But no, I mean like like more human-ish.
Well, eventually. Well, I mean, I guess. What we're leading to is eventually, if you are going to follow continuity of these fucking movies, is something Mark Wahlberg, who is part Transformer, part human at the end of the last night.
I forgot about that.
Nope.
He's like Transformer Jesus at the end of that. It's incredible.
What?
Truly incredible stuff.
Dude, I saw that movie in theaters. I don't even remember that.
Bro, it turns out
Batshit.
the circuit was in me.
Yes.
Oh, there is, by the way, speaking of Mark Wahlberg,
It's right
Pete
here.
Yes.
Davidson's like,
Yes.
because there's some line of like, oh man, this is crazy. He's like, yeah, it is crazy. Did you hear that Mark is leaving the Funky Bunch and he's going to start acting?
Yeah, I guess
Look
he's
at the
gonna-
camera.
I guess he's gonna try to be in movies or something.
Did you hear that John Turturro's not going to be in Spike Lee movies exclusively anymore?
There's another dumb thing that he says here because Noah has some line he exclaims like, "You're a robot," or something like that. And he's like, "No, I'm an alien." And I was like, "Cool."
Yeah,
of course.
And then he says that like if he does this mission, well, I guess Optimus and all the gang show up and they're like, "Who brought the stinking human?
Where's the flesh bag coming from?
that I guess is Optimus Prime's like
Journey.
in this
Yeah.
film is
Correct.
Because like in
So
later movies he
accepting
loves humans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
a
like
bigot
these
still
fucking
here.
stinking pieces of shit.
My God, do you know excrement just falls out the backside of these things? It's awful.
Maybe he hates being a truck, and he's like, they designed such stupid vehicles.
Why can't I be a planet like you Unicron. He's got it made.
But don't these movies show you at one point too that like all these guys got to do these Autobots is like scan a car?
Yeah.
So like he must like being a big honking truck.
I guess so.
Maybe you can't undo it. Maybe once you've decided on that, you can't really.
Oh yes, you can't hit the undo function anymore after you've saved. You can't undo beyond the save.
I'm a little older than Mirage. I can't get it up all the time into other shapes.
Just play with my windshields.
Speaking of Mirage, this is right where he's like, yeah, and then after you do the mission, you could sell me, and that'll be your payment. I could become a Lamborghini.
That's the weirdest part. Like,
now,
what does that mean?
Is that in the Stinger there? Is it being sold?
No, he's the same Porsche. He's just being rebuilt with different
Because
parts.
now he's alive again.
I guess the idea is you would sell him.
And then he would leave.
Yeah,
but that's actually it's kind
change
of
into a different car and then leave.
kind of a primo scam if you have a human being and an Autobot who's willing to do this. Like he turns into a nice Porsche.
Oh yeah,
and then like Noah would sell him to somebody.
Oh man,
get all the money, and then like Mirage just drives
hit
away.
the next town.
Then he turns into a different kind of car. Sell that off, get the money. Then he drives. That's a great dude. And here it is. Transformers : Auto Scum, and it's just that we're crisscrossing the nation, ripping people off. I'd watch that.
Paper
movie.
Moon as a Transformers movie, or Matchstick Men as a. That sounds more like I'd be like low tier scams.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
I would like that. I'd be into that.
Yeah. What the hell? Yeah. So that's the whole thing. Like he says, if you help us break into the museum and get the key, we can do this car sale scam, and Bob's your uncle. There we go. And
so they go and
can you drive to Ellis Island?
No, you cannot.
Oh, in the movie you can.
Yeah, I think
it's a special bridge. The Ellis Bridge.
Got it.
Yes, you cannot drive to
I would
Ellis
love it that they're all just on the ferry like, man, this is taking forever.
Well, I think that's why you see at one point as they're like going there, you see all of the Terracons literally like wash up on the shore. I think they like walk under the water or something. Because yes, you cannot drive to Ellis Island. That's
but this garbage truck does, so it's great.
By the way,
which is now Mirage.
Yeah. He turns it because he can just turn into other stuff. There was John Dimaggio,
the voice actor.
Yes, plays. John
Dimaggio
plays the plane later on. But he also provided the voice of Transit, a Decepticon who transforms into a New York City transit bus.
What?
But the character's scenes were deleted due to their darker tone.
What?
Dark? Like, what happened?
Release the transit cut.
I need to see what's going on.
Yes, start the campaign. # release the transit cut. Don't let anyone involved in this movie fucking sleep.
No.
Until we get that fucking version.
Dominique, it's on site. Come on.
Would this be like a deleted scene in the DVD? You think, did they film this?
It says scenes were deleted.
Oh, okay.
I want everyone to go to the Williamsburg Bridge and stop traffic. Just clutter it until we get our fucking transit cut.
Like, what do you think's going on? Like ass grabbing? Like, what's the darker tone?
Or is he running over people?
Oh, that could be.
Right? It's a populated day in the city. It's beautiful weather. And then
yeah, that's what Optimus was doing before he changed. He's just like, get all these stinking humans in the street. Transit. Full power.
There's a funny thing around here because you got, of course, the beloved Bumblebee who can only speak through radio frequency and whatever. And he makes, I remember some of his references later. I don't remember what this one is, but it is one of the funniest things in the movie is Optimus Prime goes, I don't want you going to that drive-in theater anymore. Yeah. Like he's just upset that he's going to the movies.
I think it's the you can't handle the truth line.
Oh, there
like,
it is.
Man, I didn't even fucking see that.
Way to spoil it, fuckface.
It just came out last weekend, you son of a bitch. You know I love Rob Reiner movies.
Meathead, one of the all-time greatest actor turned director.
Don't care much for that Tom Cruise fellow, but Rob Reiner every day, every week.
Because Tom Cruise is like wrecking cars and stuff. That could have been a person.
That was my uncle.
That's somebody.
I tried to watch Days of Thunder, but I was crying the whole time.
They just use us. That's all they do.
I went and saw that Vanilla Sky in theaters, and of course, what has to happen? He gets in a car accident. Disgusting.
Now my cousin is blamed for his disfigured face.
Oh yeah, and
He puts on a mask.
They
He's got a
probably
mask.
hid Silly Miscavige in my trunk.
So we have like a big museum fight here because we're going in to steal
Yes.
the key.
We meet the Noah and Amelia.
Elena.
Meet each other, and there's this security guard
yeah.
who is my favorite part of the movie. He's like, "Hey, what are you all doing in here?" This dude gets evaporated.
Holy
There's
shit.
nothing left of him.
Nope, not a trace that this dude ever existed on this planet,
Like,
and he is
good.
vaporized.
Oh man! I mean, at least he doesn't have to play alimony anymore. It's a nice way out.
That's true, he's off the hook.
He's just got like 75 missed messages after 2 days.
It's incredible, man. It is. Yeah. What are you doing here? Ba-boom. Here come the Terracons into this movie. And here's a weird thing. So Scourge, weird thing that Scourge has is like these like Salacious B. Crumb kind of things,
Dog
like
people,
Yeah.
like
things.
detach themselves from his body and
Yeah.
start chasing
Yeah.
people,
Mm.
including our two human beings that are around the museum here.
I mean, much like Super Shredder has a Toka and a Razor ready
Yeah,
to go
sure.
and do his work for him.
That's
It'd be
true.
so great to take part of you away, and have it become another thing. I guess that's having a kid. But
I was gonna say, yeah.
I meant like, that beer belly is now like a glob that's fighting.
Oh,
for me.
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
Yeah, but as
Which
you
I
were,
guess that is like
as you were
yeah,
saying
yeah.
this, I was like, he's talking about having kids.
So I'm thinking about it.
My nose is on a side quest right now.
I don't know. I shaved off my bush and nothing happened when I threw it to the ground.
But yeah, we're having the big robot fight outside while these people are being terrorized, and this is like, they are getting their asses handed to them because these Terracons are pumped through all this dark energy or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So you get Optimus Prime getting his ass kicked. You got Bumblebee getting murdered.
Doesn't
Okay.
Optimus Prime like get his punch caught and he goes, "Impossible,"
I
which
think
is
so,
hilarious.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
But yeah, Bumblebee dies.
Which is such a
fucking
stupid.
do it, dude. Just
Yes,
fucking
but
do it.
Watching the movie, I was just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they're playing it up, but there's zero chance that is an actual
yeah.
moment of the
That's-
moment of death.
There's a whole thing with these movies is like one of the Transformers, if not many of them, always have a brutal end in
Yes.
all of these movies in some way or other. And it's pretended like we don't know from all the other movies that they can be put back together because
Sure.
they're alien robots and it doesn't fucking matter.
Also, like, I don't know how on board I am with the alternate timeline thing. I think this is the same time limit. And
Sure.
in which case, I'm like, well, there's like 5 other movies with Bumblebee that take place after this.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I
I
know
know
that
he's
it's just
coming
a
back.
matter of time.
I'm telling you, that is this friend. They do not give a fuck
Yes.
about what happened the last
So
movie.
where's Megatron right now in outer space?
I think so.
Just
He's
Hanging out.
He's just balling some broad, That's what he's doing.
Maybe he turned into his T-Rex character there
Oh.
from Beast Wars and balling some other dinosaur.
Maybe he's got that super private room in Unicron. You have to know him to get it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
But it's like right
sure.
at the top of the globe.
Like Scourge doesn't even know he's there. Like,
Well,
what's in the presidential suite up there, Unicron? Nothing.
Well, Unicron is just, by the way, speaking of what he's doing, he's like cool at his heels. Like the seamless driver keeps being like, I'm going to need another 155 years. He's like, all right, I guess so. Fuck, man. This guy's taking forever. I'm going to need another 150. Fucking Jesus Christ. I'm starving over here.
That's better than, can you come down and get it? I'm outside. Can you
That's
come
what he
down
does
and
at
get
the
it?
end. He's like, can
Yeah.
you come down and get it?
That's right.
Scourge has a bad leg. He can't get up there.
There is, I mean, honestly, this fake Bumblebee death is almost worth it because of this hilarious shot where you just see this dead robot laying on the ground very just like casually.
Yes.
Like I could imagine the cops coming and doing a gigundo chalk body outline.
It
of
would
this
take him
thing.
all day.
It's so I chuckled in the theater. They
Optimus
cut to
Prime
it.
is very upset.
He is,
Oh,
of course he is. Oh, and the cool thing is this Scourge.
Mhm.
He's such a dastardly son of a bitch. This
Yeah,
robot.
sure
course.
is.
he's doing like I'm taking a trophy from my kills.
Yes.
And he rips the Autobot insignia off of Bumblebee and like affixes it to his own body.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, dude. It's like taking ears and whatnot.
It's something.
It would
you
be
know what?
something.
It'd be cool if just
Good
his
point.
entire body was covered in him at this point.
Yeah,
He's just
exactly.
like, I've been at this for a while, kids.
well, because he does the same thing to fucking Ape Blacks. What's the thing in the
Ape
game?
Link.
Abe
Ape
Lincoln,
Link.
yeah.
He rips off Ape Link's insignia and puts it on him too.
Got your hair piece.
You won't be needing these plugs anymore.
It'd be cool if he was just wearing his hair.
I mean, really though, like, could you? Again, it's been 3 days. Could you pick Scourge out of a lineup? If I showed you 7
Absolutely
Transformers,
not. No.
could you say what Scourge looked like? The
No.
answer is absolutely not.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah, I
He
guess
was
probably not.
grayish.
He was gray. He's one of the gray ones.
And I
He's
guess he
gray.
was sharper on the edges. 'cause
Yeah.
he was scary.
That's the
right?
thing. He's like evil, so he's got a lot
Sharp.
more points coming out of him, I
Yeah.
guess.
And he's got a scarier face. Like his
Sure.
face is supposed to be scary.
And
They
around
they don't have faces.
yeah,
He does.
Yeah,
he's looking right at you,
Yeah,
Big
he's-
I
Daddy.
don't know. You
He's
know,
got 2 eyes, this fucking thing.
give me more face or give me less face.
Okay, you don't
I'll
want in
give
between.
you face. I'll give you fucking face.
Thank you.
And so, like, just when you think all is lost with the Autobots battling here comes Air Razor, just lighting these dudes up.
Yes.
Pretty cool
I
bit
thought it
of
was
fire
a
here.
dragon or something. but
It's very dragon-esque.
but
Yeah,
it's
you're
a
right.
bird.
And it's Michelle Yeoh. Welcome back to the movie.
She has some weird line here where she's like, I'm Air Razor, and I'm part of your past and your future. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know, man. This is a day and a half for her
Yeah.
tops.
Yeah, it had to have been.
I think for everybody who voiced
Yes.
any, I mean, it's not a day at most.
Yes. Except for Colman Domingo, who just really to get
Really
into the
went for
Unicron
it.
thing.
Yeah.
His husband wouldn't talk to him anymore. Like it's just like I can't do it. Him when he gets like Unicron, it's scary. It's scary.
Eating dirt in the backyard, trying to prepare for this role.
Glenn, I'm working.
I mean, he was, as Zola, he was pretending to be a pimp, and that was less scary than what I was going through with Unicron.
He is fucking bone chilling in that movie,
A
man.
great movie.
Oh,
great,
man.
great movie.
I fucking hate that when that movie came out, more people didn't see it.
Yeah.
It's so goddamn good.
fucking good.
But this is so Air Razor swoops in here and is explaining all the stuff we've already talked about with like
Sure.
the dark energy and
Yep.
whatnot. And you got Optimus Prime being like, well, that clearly explains it. They're juicing. Of course I would best them in a fight.
That's unfair. I want to take a piss test, Scourge. Piss in this cup.
An oil check. Yeah.
Yes.
Get your dipstick out.
As I thought. Diesel!
But this is like when it's kind of like it's a bit of a leap if I'm Noah, because it's like, oh man, the fate of the world and it lays on this key. If they get it, then Unicron comes and destroys the world. And he's like, destroy the world? My little brother's in the world. I won't let this happen. I'm a hero. I'd be like, all right, I'll see you robots later.
Yeah,
I'm glad I'm not dead.
Good luck with all the whatever.
But no, we have to warn you that Brooklyn is part of the world.
That's really the
Brooklyn,
inspiration.
Baby, Brooklyn, baby.
Hey, Mirage, are you going to still sell it? We sold the soul thing because I did do what I said I was going to do. So I want
Yeah.
the cash.
Like it wasn't my fault. It got stolen.
Yeah.
I got it. The deal was I go into the museum and get it out for you. And I did. So when we going on this car sale scheme or what? But so this is when also Air Razor's like, well, the sort of good news is it's only half of this thing. And
Yes.
dude, we cut to Scourge going up to Unicron and be like, my lord, the key. And there is the funniest. They have this robot planet go, finally, my hunger is killing me. And I was like, is this robot planet turning into Joe Pesci?
Dude, that's what I'm telling you, man. It's been thousands of years. The seamless driver finally shows up, and he doesn't have your fucking nuggets.
Yeah,
You're like, are
totally.
you fucking kidding me?
I was waiting for Unicron to slap him upside the head. Like if one of the particles just to hit him in the back of the head.
He does kind of torture him, which is
Yes.
pretty great. He gets a little electrocuted,
Yeah.
which, a robot getting tortured. Is
Where
pretty
are the
funny.
spicy nugs? I can't believe it. I wouldn't have ordered anything unless I had the spicy nugs.
Wait a minute. What the fuck is this? Chicken fries.
I said nugs, not tenders.
Go back. Go back.
But so then this is Elena's like, Oh, I think I know where the other half of the key is because all these symbols, blibbity blob, we're going to Peru.
Of course. Sure.
And
also we got a huge tax credit for doing it.
But we have to have a quick, like, Noah's going to go say goodbye to the brother. And this is around where it's just, again, me in the theater. What?
Yeah.
When, Chris is the name of the brother is like, oh my God, you know this robot? And he's like, oh, well, we're not really friends. He's just like, I know him from work.
Chat on the internet.
He calls him a work friend. And then this is where Pete Davidson goes, work friend? But you've been inside me. And I was like, who is
also
that
work
for?
friend is a direct rip from Thor Ragnarok, so that's fine too.
Oh, that's right. I know that guy. He's a friend from work.
Also,
Totally right.
they weren't working together,
They were
right?
crime
What?
friends, if anything.
Noah, why can't you say that we just had sex? Why can't you just be honest with your brother?
And the little kid wants to go on the adventure, and here I'm like, please don't,
Dude,
please don't, please don't.
Yep.
Please.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was in there, fingers across in the theater. That wasn't happening.
Yeah, just like I would have voted no so fucking hard.
Well, yeah, that
Was it choose your own adventure? No.
well, because then you have disgusting cancer boy, and that's disgusting sickle cell boy.
Yeah. I mean, the last thing this movie needed was a sickly child tagging
Exactly.
along the whole time.
But so that he doesn't. And he's like, you better take care of my brother here. You don't see it happen, but he does give Mirage the radio so they can talk to each other. Apparently,
right? Yes.
Which is what is this radio's power going from Brooklyn, baby,
well, I think
all the way to Peru?
Now I think it's Mirage is probably juiced it with his alien taint.
Okay, all right. We'll
Juiced it up.
We'll just say the alien.
I'm gonna
juiced
plug it into
up.
my taint.
It's inside me.
See, they haven't created cell phones yet, so here's something like a cell phone.
Right. Exactly. So
Did
then
you know,
it's-
by the way, that
what?
Mirage was
Oh,
he was linked to RC on this movie. Like they might have been dating while this movie was going on.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, well, I heard that Mirage has a huge cock.
That's what I've heard
Yeah.
too. Yeah, they were at the Laker game.
I
Mirage
just-
and
Oh,
RC.
is
Sitting outside of it.
Is he going to be on the show with RC, like
don't know.
with when she's with her sisters? Or
he's also now been spotted with Megatron. He's having sex with Megatron.
That's a,
now.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
there's a
The
lot.
robots. They have sex with all of them. So then it's like, boy, how are we going to get all these gigundo robots to Peru? Don't worry. There's an Autobot called Stratosphere, which is a Scotsman with a mustache that
He's somehow drunk. Like all this stuff. Like how? How?
I had too much ethanol in me. I'm wasted.
I don't know, man.
God damn it!
What is worse, that it can get drunk or that it definitely has a mustache?
Yeah.
And
Well, that
so
we've done
weird.
before. We have had a robot mustache before.
Oh,
in one
oh,
of
Have we
them.
seen
Okay.
Stratosphere in other movies?
I don't think there is a
There's
similar
more than
character.
one of these things
Yes.
that has facial hair.
Yeah.
There is in the scrapyard one. Whatever one
Yes.
is basically in the scrapyard has mustache.
Oh,
Is the
Mater.
little
You mean
beard, yeah.
Mater.
Yes,
Mater.
Yeah, Mater. Mater.
No.
indeed.
I do love how Mirage is like, oh no, it better not be it is Stratosphere. I'm taking a private plane or I'm flying coach
Yeah.
or whatever. And I'd be like, I don't know, man, like, fuck.
Can't you all fly?
I
Like
don't
what
know.
the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Just
You
fucking
gotta
zoom there.
You got to get into this old man's behind,
Exactly.
and then he'll take you there. Probably tell you a boring story along the
About
way.
the war.
I do like how
About the war with Cybertron.
I do like how in the plane, like Optimus is kind of spread out, and moody because he's got survivor's guilt in this movie.
Dude, he's got his arm up on like a shelf or something, and it's a robot pensively staring out a window.
Yes.
Really interesting shot. This is where we do start talking a little bit about Brooklyn because this is where they realize
Brooklyn,
they're both from
baby.
Brooklyn.
Of course.
So it's
Brooklyn.
like, oh, she grew up in Canarsie or something,
Yes.
I think.
and her dad was a taxi driver.
Yeah.
And
Yada,
he's
yada,
from
yada.
Bushwick,
Ooh.
Brooklyn, baby. You're unrecognizable today compared to '94.
Absolutely true.
Bed-Stuy, Williamsburg. Let's just name all the different neighborhoods. Let's just do it.
Let's
That's
just okay,
true.
yeah. Apple Store, yeah, that's Brooklyn, baby. That's just pure Brooklyn. Woo!
Tapas Place. Tapas Place.
Toughest place, Brooklyn, baby. Number one.
There's a really dumb. She goes like, "Oh, my dad." Because she's like, "Oh, cool, you're from Bed-Stuy. My dad used to take me to this pizza place on such and such and such and such avenue," and he's like, "Oh, Frank's Pizza."
Yeah,
and
of
I was
course.
like, All right.
Brooklyn, baby, best pizza in the world.
Also, though, shouldn't it be
Brooklyn?
because it's it's the 90s, man. Shouldn't it be what's the name of the pizza place and Do the Right Thing? Sal's?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
That would have been kind of funny if it was like, you're talking about Sal's? Oh, I haven't been there since the garbage can went through the window.
Why do you not have any Autobots on the wall?
Where's Starscream?
No, Radio Raheem literally was a transformer. You didn't know that.
That boombox. Is
Yeah,
actually-
exactly. And at the end of that movie, there's a stinger scene at the end of Do the Right Thing after the incredibly powerful ending and
Right.
the letter from Martin Luther King, the letter from Malcolm X. If you watch all the way through the credits, a bunch of Energon comes through the floor.
Yep.
And then Radio Raheem is alive, and then they play Fight the Power again.
That's right.
That's right, yeah.
He wakes up, big blue eyes.
Yes, exactly.
You only catch that scene if you're not running out to the liquor store immediately after the
Listen, I had to do it. Okay? It was worth it. I have no regrets.
What do you mean you don't know about the beam and Do the Right Thing? Everybody knows about the beam.
So yeah, this is also where they plot, Noah's like, listen, I mean, Elena, fuck these robots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Smartest man in the
destroy
movie.
this
Yes,
thing.
Yes.
Exactly.
And then she's like, but then they're not going to be able to get home. And he's like, yeah, but then we don't have to worry about any of this, and we save the planet, and it's not going to fall into the hands of these other things.
You know what's frustrating about this is that they don't do it there, and then at the end of the movie, fucking Optimus Prime is like, yeah, I guess that's the only way to actually do this.
Yes, exactly. I think because there's a scene in the middle of it where it's like, you were going to destroy it. That was my ride home, you son of a bitch.
Piece of shit.
And then, at the end, it's like, yeah, I guess we should have probably destroyed it all the way at the beginning.
I guess this movie was for nothing.
I think it's one of those things where it's like, well, now the circumstances have clearly changed because this gigantic space asshole is puckering up into the stratosphere.
No, you're more important. Your planet's more important. My place is fucked. Whatever.
They go to Peru and they meet, I think this is Wheeljack.
Wheeljack, voiced by Cristo Fernández, who's fans of Ted Lasso will remember him as Danny Rojas. Football is life.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that guy. Yeah, he's a funny dude. Yeah,
But he's got like a Spanish accent or what have you there. And Anthony Ramos or Noah's like, oh, you speak Spanish, and he starts speaking Spanish at him. Like, there's this weird racist joke.
Yeah.
Oh, it's racist to assume. It's like, if you're
Don't
gonna
do it.
hire this dude, he's got an accent. Totally fine.
Sure.
Just don't call attention to
Also-
it. Just, you know what I mean? Let it go.
Why wouldn't a truck living in Peru know Spanish?
Yes.
yeah. I don't.
Why is the Autobots only speak English? What does that even mean?
Why would he have an accent at all? Again, just leave it alone.
Just forget
Yes.
it.
Exactly.
Just-
let him be in the movie with the accent and
And
just don't mention-
address it.
You're not going to talk to Michelle Yeoh like, oh, do you speak Chinese? Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, exactly. That never comes up. And there's one of two ways to do it. Either Noah speaks Spanish to this car,
Yes.
and the car speaks Spanish back, or just you don't acknowledge it, and because it doesn't matter
doesn't
anyway.
matter.
But there is a line that's kind of funny, even though
Yeah.
the bit doesn't work, because because the robot is like, "Don't you think that's a little racist?" And what Noah responds with is, "Well, this is a robot. How is it racist?"
Yes.
And I was like, "That's kind of funny," but
Yeah.
the bit
Does not
overall fails horribly.
And he's introduced the wheel guy. Wheeljack. He's introduced his classes.
He does wear glasses. He's
Which is so stupid.
God, Wheeljack, you have your corrective lenses on.
So
Well,
when
of
he's-
course, we as Transformers, vision is included, obviously. It would be insane not to include vision.
Yeah, we have our Oculus, the guy who checks our eyes every year. So he's introduced. Isn't he like looking around at things
Yeah.
like it's like butterflies or something? There's something floating around him that he's like looking
I don't know.
at.
I have no
And
idea.
this is
It sounds beautiful.
I'm not sure if this is true, but it might just be because Spider-Man happened and I got pissed off about the meme thing again.
Yes.
But this Transformer looking at these things looks exactly like that meme of the guy with glasses and a butterfly. And he's like, is this a...
Oh,
Interesting.
And
yeah,
I'm just of the mind now that memes are always being put in these
That's
movies.
true.
Because it's cute. We love memes.
And everybody knows it. Everybody,
that's right.
everybody-
like here's the thing about putting memes and things for people to recognize
relatable
things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, no, it's like you're doing that And the people that go like, oh yeah, oh look, it's the thing, it's the Spider-Man point, it's the the butterfly meme from whatever animated thing that is. It's no different than when Steve was on the Tower of Terror and that person said they made it look like nighttime.
Exactly.
When you acknowledge with any kind of like positivity that someone's referencing a meme, just know that in public you sound like they made it look like nighttime.
I know that.
It's just as stupid.
Well, people just want memeing in their films.
Yes.
A film needs to have a memeing.
Yes, because then I go to the movies and I steal the memes, or I stole your meme here and I stole your meme there, pedophile.
That is like a meme goblin, that fellow.
Here's a meme about me stealing your memes.
I am a meme Unicron. I eat memes for breakfast.
Oh man, talk about a gigundo space asshole.
Exactly. SpaceX asshole.
So the whole thing is like, oh, the piece that we're looking for might be located in this church, but of course a bunch of cars can't vroom vroom into a church.
What do you mean?
What the fuck? Oh, fine. You're saying we aren't allowed to believe in a higher power. I get it.
I'm baptized.
Man, how do you baptize a huge truck that has a fucking fire hose full of holy water?
A truck and confession. That'd be good.
I'm Catholic, honestly.
I didn't make a complete stop at the stoplight.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 250,000 miles since my last confession.
Yes, it would be in miles.
He just lies down in a river and the whole thing just empties. Tidal wave.
They were doing what to those cars?
I made a turn and I didn't signal.
Oh yeah, he's helping the spotlight reporters. They have to know.
The light turned green, and after only half a second, I really laid on the horn. It was rude of me. Catholic cars.
There you go. That's it.
Something. So Elena and Noah have to go down. They sort of walk through this parade really quickly.
And again, I always hate when this happens. Like, we're doing like, skullduggery, and I think Noah's like, wow, this is like Indiana Jones shit. I'm like, yeah, I know, dude. I've been watching this fucking movie. You know what I mean? Like, just don't do it.
Because they get into this like garden area of this church, and they're looking around for signals as to where this like entrance, is going to be. And there's a huge floor puzzle.
Yes.
And it's I'm such a fucking loser. I'm sitting in the theater with this notebook, by the way, scribbling. And I just wrote like Indiana Jones shit. And then like a cavern opens and Noah goes, wow, that's some Indiana Jones shit. And I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, what's happening to me?
It's coming out in a few weeks. Get ready, everybody.
Woohoo.
Only a co-production with Paramount this time though, because that's all Disney, baby.
Of course,
they gobbled that shit right up, man.
Talk about Unicron, dude, just eating planets.
That's true.
So they, open this cavern and they go down, and it's one of those like, boy, I don't think anyone stepped here in half a millennia. And you're like, wait for that to not pay off at the little epilogue of this movie. But we go down, we find the room. Here's a box. We're literally like moving a stone tablet.
Yeah.
And the box is empty. Where could this piece of the key be? Well, no time to think on it now, because here comes this fucking Salacious B. Crumb thing again, chasing him around.
Yeah, so they have to run away from that fucking thing, and then eventually, when they get back to the they find those new Maximals.
Yes.
Well, because Noah, at this point, Pete Davidson gives him like that wristband thing, and he like accidentally like Iron Man's this robot and kills it,
which sets up a part of the movie that I don't care for.
I disagree, but we'll get there.
But I think it's funny that they're like trying to find this piece of the key, and it's like in this ancient temple, and it's not there. And then they meet up with those other Transformers, like, yeah, we moved that. It just seems weird.
But yes, they come out, they run through this cavern, they come out the other side of it in the jungle, and then boom, boom, here we go. Here's all the Maximals, including Optimus Primal. Here's like the big dude that we meet. Oh, yeah.
But by the way, not too far before this, they're running through. There's a chase. I think it's around where Wheeljack is introduced. And the Transformers are running across rooftops.
Yes.
Right.
Explain any of that to me. Explain how you would just be falling through every roof.
It's kind of funny because they like try to make it work, and it does, because you're right. Like 1 foot, it would just go right through this thing.
Not even.
But you see, like, as its foot leaves the roof to take the next step, like the roof is falling down. But I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way this structure would support this gigantic robot for even a second.
And that's one. There's 4 of them doing this, baby. This
Yeah.
place is gone.
Yeah.
Get a helicopter,
Countless dead.
drop a car on a fucking building and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
Yep, exactly.
You know what? I would love to see that. They should put that in the movie theater.
We
I
should
would
do
go.
that. We should have a show. It's like How Stuff Works movie edition.
Right.
And it's like, what would happen if a transformer actually stepped on a roof of a house? Drop that fucking car down on
And
it.
of course, we have living people in these houses to see how this would actually
It's
affect.
a real it reminded me a lot of the Hummer scene in Bad Boys 2 when they're just driving on people's fucking homes.
Oh,
Right.
I mean, it made me think about.
Don't worry,
because-
they're poor though, so it didn't
Oh,
matter.
of course,
That's right,
That
that's
doesn't matter
right.
at all. I mean, it made me think because when Optimus Prime and them, he's swinging from trees.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Yep.
Like nothing can support this thing. Nothing. Nothing.
he weighs
Doesn't
like
exist.
7,000 pounds.
Yes. Can't swing from shit.
This is a big fight. There's a Pete Davidson line here that I will not forget. I think he's fighting Scourge, and this is when he says "stranger danger" a couple of times.
Yep. That's great.
That's awesome. Well, I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's like when Noah and Elena are making their way through that tunnel to meet the Maximals, the Terracons are fighting with the Autobots here. I did like how Wheeljack turns back into a van and like RC or whatever her name is there is like sort of skitching alongside of it. And Scourge or one of those fuckers throws a missile and they turn and the car, like the van's doors are both open. Wheeljack turns into like a VW bus thing. Yeah. And the rocket goes through it. I thought that was kind of neat.
Did you
there's some cool
notice
action
that
here.
the lady one mouthed the word "fuck" when it happened?
No, what?
I think she did.
Really?
Like a
Yeah, it was like,
what the fuck?
it was like "fuck."
That's kind of cool.
Maybe that's in a cut. Maybe it's in that transit cut.
Yeah, the
dude.
dark
Just-
cut.
Oh, right. Yeah. Somewhere around here, too, when the Autobots meet back up with the Maximals here in the woods, Pete Davidson calls Optimus Primal Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I mean, but the weird thing about Optimus Primal is he never turns into a robot. He loves being a gorilla.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, how stupid is
All
it?
the Maximals turn into robots at the end of the
Do
movie
they? Okay.
to do the big fight.
Right
I-
when
I
you
don't
have
remember
to
it
do
either.
stuff.
Because it's that like Autobots, Maximals, roll, and they both say roll out, and then everybody
got it.
Well,
turns into robots.
What is the point of turning from a gorilla robot to a robot? Like
Exactly.
they're like,
Yeah.
you're
Same
still,
thing.
Yeah,
You're a
'cause
man. You have hands.
The
Exactly.
gorilla-
Arms and legs. It's the same
But
shit.
when they're in their robot forms, they have guns. They can fly. And,
But all right, I mean you're right.
Yeah.
But how baller would it be if you got this huge gorilla robot
with a
and his hand just turns into a cannon and starts
Yeah.
fucking killing people? And it's a monkey doing it, dude. You know what I
That's
mean?
awesome.
These are creative ideas. They have no place here.
Oh, got it.
That's just not what we're doing here.
Meanwhile,
yeah.
at the end of that fight, though, Scourge sprays Michelle Yeoh with something like
throws
bad guy
it like a
juice.
disc at her,
Yeah.
and it attaches to her wing there. But
He
then
comes
so
on her
this is
back, and then
Bad
Air
guy
Razor,
juice.
Optimus Primal, Cheetor, and Rhinox are the the beasties that we meet here, the
and I
Maximals.
think Rhinox is played by
Paul Giamatti. I would hope.
Oh, now I'm voicing a robot. This is great.
I love Rhinoceri.
I got typecast.
I forget what the context is. Maybe Pete Davidson startled by these guys, or it was from the fight. I got a note that says, "I'm not scared. That's just engine oil."
He pisses himself.
Yes,
He pisses himself because I forget what happens, but he does piss
He
himself.
pisses himself.
It's very clear that he pissed himself.
which
truly
would be
stupid.
engine oil, I guess.
It would be what pisses me off most about this movie, I think, is
What
that
engine you off?
it starts like the total thing is we're going to do the beasts. Now it's going to be the beasts thing.
Sure. The
They're
movie's called
in-
Rise of the fucking Beast.
It's in the beginning and like maybe the last 30 minutes, maybe.
Not a
There's
lot of beasts in
whole
here, yeah.
hour at least of me just watching a plain old Transformer
It's
movie.
Totally right.
it's an absolute. It's a regular Transformers movie.
It's Rise of the Beast. The next
I
movie,
see.
they're gonna
All
have the
beasts.
beasts.
That's gonna be
it's
the
gonna
main
I
beast.
think there's maybe a little.
Transformers: the beasts are here.
Beast
next
mode.
movie.
I think there's a little bit of truth to that, but also it does feel like they didn't have any confidence in these maximal characters.
No.
And
Because
it's
you
like,
shouldn't.
What, maybe you should have looked at your script. That I don't know what to tell you. Then.
like Rhinox
Yeah.
maybe has like 2 lines. The Cheetor one has maybe a line.
They're
Yeah.
both completely underutilized.
Yes,
for
and I mean, like
sure.
Optimus Primal is there. He has a lot of exposition.
Dude,
Michelle
Optimus
Yeoh is
Primal-
Air Razor,
One dumb thing that this fucking robot says right here.
Robot Monkey.
Oh, pardon me.
Mm.
Robo Ape is because he's like, and because I think Air Razor's like introducing them all to the Autobots, and she's like, and this is their leader, Optimus Primal, and dude, Optimus Prime is like, Optimus, what? And then this fucking gorilla robot is like, yes, I was named after you, and I was like, so
Yeah, no,
these robots got parents,
Yeah.
and the parents, these maximal, I guess they're also gorilla robots,
Yeah.
were aware of the existence of the Autobot
Mm-hmm.
Optimus Prime. I feel like my brain's going to
well, I mean,
explode.
Optimus Prime was like, oh, that means you must have been born in 24-6419. I was really hot back then. Like that was so many Optimuses. It was Jalen for girls and boys and Optimus for boys.
Well, because they make suggestions that there was like older ones that were also that same kind of like.
Yes.
There was an Optimum Primus, which I just imagine Les Claypool in a
Yeah,
Gundam.
that robot was a really good bass player. This is also where we get
Well,
Optimus
that
Primal.
makes sense because his mother was a race car driver, so
Yeah.
that would make
Jerry,
a ton
yeah.
of sense. Yeah,
Jerry's
Song was
mother.
just on the radio yesterday.
there you go.
But this is where, so Optimus Primal's like, yeah, we for some reason moved the half of the key, but it's with some folks. Let's go check it out. They go to this village. There's this family there, and this dude is like, yes, like these are the last of this family that's helped us, keep the key secure for centuries, blah blah blah. And Optimus Prime is just like, you partnered with people. You're working with people. Like he's so disgusted
It's awesome.
that there was this partnership here. And this is also where we get all the shit about the fucking ancient aliens. Sort of like it's just a dip in your toe in the water of ancient aliens. I wanted a little more of
it's
that.
pretty unethical for these space apes to come down and
Break the Prime Directive.
yes, and then force this village to like worship them like gods.
Yeah,
right? I mean,
those
that's what this
Renfield
is.
practically.
Yeah,
Like, yes,
exactly.
master. Yes, ape. But well, I actually worship a 12-foot ape. I don't know. What do you worship? That dude's like right. No, literally, he's right there. You
He
can
must
see
be
him.
Yes, he's right there.
forcing them to go into town and find cars and siphon the tank, and give them gas or whatever his evil bidding is.
He's like, you better sacrifice your firstborn to me.
Oh,
me,
yeah.
me, your ape monkey robot god.
Think about how good that would feel too.
Oh
right?
yeah, to have
You put
someone
a
to do it.
baby
Yeah.
in the palm of your hand and just close it and then open it, and it's just
wash it off.
juice, dude. It's just juice.
There's a great like everybody's juice. There's a great thing where everybody's kind of like hanging low for the night.
Yeah.
And this is where Air Razor's talking to Optimus Primal. And it's really great. Like Optimus Primal now has met his namesake.
Yeah.
And he's super disappointed. He's just like, oh, yeah, I don't know, Air Razor. This dude kind of fucking sucks, man. Like
they say never meet your hero.
it totally, dude, that's exactly what it is.
Well,
It's like,
because-
he's kind of a fucking loser.
A
man.
big fucking truck. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I mean, he's kind of the racist. Did you hear what he talked about people? I mean, because
Can't
he
believe
does
my
have.
namesake's a bigot.
I think it's Optimus Primate who has the line that made me scream, which was when he's pointing to the people who like believe in
Yeah.
Primate. He's like, much like us, they have more than meets the eye.
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
I
Human
fucking
beings.
screamed.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you may want to rethink your opinion on humans, Optimus Prime, because human beings are more than meet the eye. And I was like,
Yes.
no, we're less.
They also invented Brooklyn. Brooklyn, baby.
Speaking of Brooklyn, they're having a Brooklyn conversation. Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback, and don't worry, not a hint of romanticism. Don't worry,
Yes.
Not at
we're not
all.
going to hold hands. We're not going to kiss.
Those are
Nope.
that's for mommies and daddies.
That
Look,
is
the
only
big
for moms.
climax, they can become colleagues.
Yes,
It's big.
that's really
I guess
satisfying. To
maybe
watch.
that's that's the thing. Like, that's why it doesn't feel like she needs either more to do or not to be in the movie
at all, yes.
or him not to be in the movie
totally.
because it's just muddled. Like, and if they were maybe finding each other through this voyage, there would have been something to that. I wonder if there was a draft version of this.
Possibly.
The closest you get is like when all the dust settles and they're back on that Scottish airplane.
She puts her head on his shoulder.
She leans her head on his shoulder, and that's all
Which
you get.
That's like live journal. Oh my God, I think this might be happening kind of stuff.
By Beach Boys metrics, it means you're married.
That's true.
But they're talking and it's like, should we destroy this? Should we not? This is when she's like, oh, but the Transformers helped us and they would let them go home and all this stuff. And he's like, I don't care. Brooklyn, baby, Brooklyn. And this is when Michelle Yeoh freaks out and turns into a monster, which is hilarious.
Yeah, like
I kind of want to watch the video of Michelle Yeoh doing this vocal performance.
Yes.
Oh, yep. Totally.
Want to get the 4K for this?
She had those destroyed. She's like, yeah, you'll destroy that. Thank you very
this
much.
will not be a DVD bonus feature anytime soon. No, thank you. Because Elena wakes up the next morning and it's like, wow, what's that noise? Sounds like someone's taking a real gnarly shit. And she like walks out into this field and there's this fucking bird robot turned over sideways, like, get the fuck away from me. And it's like, she's trying to stave off being taken over by the dark energy or whatever. So it is like a little bit of a Brendan Gleeson, get the fuck away from me. And like here Optimus Optimus Primal comes in like, oh, it's happening. And we get a little bit of a fight here because she takes away Elena in her claws and they give chase.
She comes back to herself briefly for a moment and it was like a real kill me.
It definitely do it, kill me, because they have this whole thing like sacrifice anything for the good of the mission. And this gorilla just fucking smushes this thing, a big gorilla hug.
He kills his bird wife. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, kids at home. She'll be fine.
I'm sure.
I'm sure she's in the
gonna be
next
good.
movie.
That's the thing is like we make all the effort in the world to bring back Bumblebee, to bring back Mirage, but eat fucking donkey shit, Air Razor. You are dead forever.
Oh, she'll be back.
No, she's like, I just won an Oscar. Can you kill me in page 98?
Yeah, my contract stipulates you need a shot of my robot body being melted down in a lava river. If you could do that.
I said yes to everything after this the hit. So I can't do a sequel. I actually have to be on the James Bond movie. I'm coming back from Tomorrow Never Dies.
It's also probably not that popular of a character, the bird,
Yeah.
right? But like Bumblebee, if
Oh,
they
you need
actually
that
kept
guy.
him dead, someone would be
something.
walking around. Someone would walk into the White House wearing a C4 vest if they actually killed Bumblebee.
Oh man, another terrorist attack because we let them kill Bumblebee.
God, you know what? Get me on the phone to Jack Paramount. We gotta solve this.
Oh, he's been dead for 100 years.
Is Spielberg still involved with that stuff? Get that man on the phone.
Still EP on this movie.
course.
Still getting that check. So
Basically, the third act of this movie, the Terracons now have both pieces of this key. We're going to assemble it, and they're kind of just going to Mordor.
Yeah.
It's this
Yes.
big mountain volcano thing, and this is where we're going to assemble everything and open this portal.
Conveniently, nothing there. Like it's just nothing.
Yes.
It looks like nothing to render, nothing
No.
to worry
it's just,
about.
Smooth
it's
as
just a
shit.
grassy hill, essentially.
It doesn't look good.
It's a trip to Mordor, but also while it is happening, we have an Avengers Endgame level battle on the field with all the different characters
And
the little crawly guys.
Dude, those crawly guys, at one point, it's like
because Unicron
something-
is coming and he's shooting crawly guys at them.
yeah.
Yes, and then there's like portals that open though, and all these other crawly things come out, and somebody's
that's
like,
from-
"Oh, look, it's all the foot soldiers," and I was like, "What the fuck? Where did these things come from?"
Enemies coming in from a portal. I know. I thought some
that.
the Revengers. It must
Yeah,
be
it
the
must be the-
Revengers. I love that movie.
And like, especially when it's in New York and you can see it, and
Yeah,
it's this
yeah.
big portal in the air. I'm like, that's that movie that I saw
Yeah,
You know what?
11 years ago.
Can we
gotta get back on the phone to Joe Paramount about this.
no portals? Let's take a break from portals. everyone.
Absolutely,
Sky Portal specifically, I think we can get rid of.
And we're all fighting, and basically Noah, and it's hilarious how this keeps happening. Like, why would there be in this Terracon creation an area that only humans can access?
A human-sized console, you mean?
It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense
No,
at all.
it doesn't at all. No.
And so the whole thing is they have to race down. It's basically like a very long bridge
Yes.
to get to the foot of Mordor or whatever, and that's where this console is. And so she reaches it while Noah gets discovered by Scourge, and there's a little bit of fighting there. And so she gets to this console, and I swear to God, it is like a 2-second, like, oh, there it is. Like she inputs this weird
Beep,
alien
beep, bop.
code, and I was like, I don't need to see her going to computer programming school, but I need to be a little more focused on like getting this password in. Oh, it didn't work this way. Yeah. It is just now it's done.
But then it doesn't work anyway, right?
Well, the console's destroyed and it doesn't matter.
But that's, I mean, going back to like, oh, she's undervalued at work, therefore world's greatest genius. Like she also, we don't even see her with a computer. Like we don't see her with a computer doing anything like that.
She's writing it all in her hand.
Yeah. The symbol, if that symbol is this way, then obviously the other side of the symbol has to be this. I'm like, it's an alien language.
I definitely know how to type this. I know how to do this.
And meanwhile, on the big fight, this is when, unfortunately, everyone's favorite character, Mirage, he's like covering.
I'm going to self-sacrifice myself so that you can actually finish this and stop Unicron from destroying all the planets. This, that, and the other thing. Courageous self-sacrifice. Oh, never mind. I'm fine.
Yes.
Does he get the power glove before Mirage dies?
He does have one power glove.
He gets the power glove first
because he uses it Mirage gives it to him way back when they go to infiltrate the church.
Gotcha. Yes, that's right. And then Mirage, while he's dying, turns Noah into Mega Man.
Yes,
it's literally Mega. That's my note too.
I feel like they got a suit right there,
dude. I was kind of just like,
unintended.
Hey man, look at this. But like, look at it this way. That fucking Mario movie was huge. It's time. It is time for a Mega Man movie.
I mean, we just got it, dude. We literally just got it.
And you know what? Anthony Ramos for Mega Man, dude. I was totally cool with this. He's bopping around in this little robot suit.
I thought it was pretty stupid.
It is stupid, but I was cool with it. Don't worry, Steve. It's stupid.
It's just because I don't think it looks terribly good.
And
it's like, it's a cool idea, but it's almost too late in the movie. And also I'm now wearing my dead friend.
Yeah.
Is a little bit odd.
There's all that.
Wearing my dead friend.
It's like, oh man, I'm going to fight. Oh, this guy's fucking with me. I'm going to wear Andrew's dead body on.
They'll never know who I am this way.
Dude, I got to tell you, Steve, if some tough out there was giving you trouble and you rolled up wearing my body as a suit, that guy would bother you no more, friend.
I'm cool. I'm cool, man.
No, dude. Argument over. You win.
That guy's fucking. You know what, man? Yeah, Superman would beat the Flash in the race, buddy.
Steve's
no problem.
Face in your chest cavity.
Do you want my car? Would you like whatever's in my wallet?
I will suck your dick, dude. Just let me leave alive.
I just really wish I didn't see this.
Let's finish this. What the fuck?
God, we were just yelling about which Robin was better. Fuck.
Tim Drake, motherfucker.
This guy's crazy.
Could you just take your friend off your face?
And then, so in a weird thing, I guess part of Unicron, like sucking up this planet, is like a shockwave goes across the land and activates all this raw energon that we're told, oh, don't worry about it way back when. Because I think I think it's the Scotsman's like, if you got him back to Cybertron, if you just pump him full of energon, he might be able to be revived. And so wouldn't you know it?
He just needs a hard restart.
You know what I mean? Pretty much. Yeah. It's like turn on Bumblebee, but hold down Control Alt Delete while you do it to have Bumblebee boot up in safe mode.
Oh, and actually, it's very easy for all of you to skip death if you just get some energon. You can all just come back.
There's a really great thing though where like Optimus Prime is getting like gangbanged by all these little foot soldiers. Like they're all over him. Oh my God, this is disgusting. And then like here comes Bumblebee to save the day and shoots all these things off him. He also murders Nightbird, which is like the purple Terracon, and she's got like swords and whatnot.
Sure. While Elena is at the console, my favorite line of the movie, it's not quite Vivian get in here, but it is Optimus Prime looking down at a woman being like, Elena, shut it down.
Totally.
Which is just sort of like, that's what happens when like the party gets out of control. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Dad comes in.
Your uncle, like fucking, somebody knocks over the fucking Christmas tree. That's it. All right. Elena, shut it down.
Yep,
your friends have to leave.
Your mother and I have been sitting upstairs quietly, patiently waiting for these vagabonds to exit our home. And now the Christmas tree is on the ground. Shut it down.
We're never going to fix that portrait of your great grandfather. So shut it down, Elena.
Who broke the goddamn coffee table?
Oh no, this is incredible. This liquor bottle has been drank from. Elena, shut it down.
All right, who dragged dog dew into the house? It's all over the carpet. Elena, shut it down.
I would love to see this house. I imagine it's just a giant garage.
Who put all our frozen food in the dishwasher? Who did it?
Boy, your little friends sure think they're fucking funny. Shut it down.
Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Someone ate my leftover spaghetti. That was lunch for work tomorrow. Elena, shut it down.
Do you think they eat like actual food, like spaghettis?
Yeah, but it tears them apart.
Or do they just eat like nuts and bolts?
Oh, nah. I'd like to think it would be the
I
spaghetti.
would like to be, I would like to, like, just a swimming pool full of like manicotti.
Yeah, I
That'd
mean,
be
I guess they came to New York for a reason. Brooklyn,
Yeah,
baby.
that's we can't leave. The food is far too good. I've gained 14 tons since coming here.
Vivian, I am eating my way around the world without ever having to leave Brooklyn.
You haven't had real garbage hot dogs until you've been to New York.
Vivian, grab me another dirty water dog.
Brooklyn.
This is when, and every one of these movies has this, and I really appreciate it. When a robot does die, specifically when he's the bad robot,
Yeah.
they get fucked in the face so hard.
Oh, it's brutal.
It is so incredible. He rips off Peter Dinklage's arms and shoves his face into lava. Is how that goes?
While saying, speaking of shut it down, this is another good one because they're just having this fight, and it's almost as if like Optimus has been laying in wait and just toying with him or whatever, and he gets frustrated. He just goes, "All right, I've had enough," and shoves his face into a lava waterfall. Not too shabby.
It's pretty good. He eats shit here. And then this is when...
Oh, actually, sorry, another line right here. After the lava facing, he pulls the dead robot body back towards him and goes, "This belongs to a friend of mine."
Yeah.
And rips off Bumblebee's insignia from the chest and then throws it down. Pretty
And
great.
this belongs in a museum. He kind of great. Like, this is when, so like it's the end now because Elena tried to do the thing that the console blew up. There's no way to stop Unicron unless we destroy the key, but that will kill you or something.
It's going to cause a massive explosion at the source of turning it off. And so that's self-sacrifice time.
Optimus Prime is like, I'm going to go to hell tonight. And he's going to fall into he does it. He falls into a cliff, but then Mega Man shows up and saves the day.
And then Optimus Primal's like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me, kid!" And then he pulls both of them up, and it's because it's causing like everything's getting like sucked back into the portal. So it's whoa!
And this is also when Optimus Prime stops being so racist because he's like, "What, Noah?
Damn, saved by one of you."
I mean, that's tough, right? Right? Like you see that little guy and you're like, "Oh, geez."
But you'd be like, "Oh yeah, you could only do that because you're wearing my friend as a suit."
It's true.
Where did you get all that? Oh my God, it's Mirage.
I can't believe it. It's so disgusting.
You twisted fuck. What is this? Silence of the Lambs, you sick bastard. You dissected him and you're wearing his body.
I hate you even more now. Kill them all, Unicron.
And then it's just a real, like, I think it's someone says, like, "Oh, Unicron's dead." And Optimus Prime's like,
nice.
"Unicron is not dead. He's just somewhere else right now. He's waiting for the sequel."
He's looking for more shrines.
And so then we get into the standard. You know, this is what I always appreciate about these movies. You know, when these movies are coming to an end, when you get the Optimus Prime closing voiceover here.
Oh, yeah.
"Just a reminder, my name is Optimus Prime, and this is a recap of the movie."
Yes.
And he says, the key is broken, so we're stuck here on Earth, but good thing I'm learning to like these people because we're, stuck with each other, yada yadas. That's his whole thing. And then Elena appears on 60 Minutes. We see her being interviewed by a present-day Leslie Stahl, which is weird. I guess that's why they kept the TV screen so small there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, yes, Elena, whatever, she discovered this cave. And at no point, I mean, I don't know. Wouldn't they be like, what the hell were you doing there?
What were you doing in Peru?
Right.
Nothing. You know what I mean? What did this? How did this museum intern wind up in this Peruvian cave?
I was following the research of an old explorer named Phineas Witwicky.
Nice.
Fucking damn it.
But there's no, it'd be questioned, right? Like they'd be like, okay, but there's no record of you ever traveling there.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Oh, and also
You don't have a passport.
we do have this like grainy security footage of you leaving that museum disaster that left fucking 30 security guards
They're
dead.
still looking, they still want to interview you. A man died there. Man died in the room.
I mean, we think
that
so.
guy-
We have no evidence he ever existed.
Security Joe.
We were using mist to find his DNA.
We just held a Q-tip up in the air and just swabbed around.
We're hoping for the best.
But this is the last scene of the movie where
Another big job interview.
Another big job interview. There's a scene when he goes back to his family. And it's like, hey, you're back.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. But whatever.
yeah,
Sonic
whatever.
Tales. We get it. But yeah, so the last scene's a job interview. And like, he'll see you now. And enter the dude from fucking
Michael Kelly.
Michael Kelly, who's a great actor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shared a plane back from South by with that guy. once.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Not
must've been
exactly
scary.
the heat you're looking
No.
for, though, for this role. This is like 3 to 5
For
people past.
TV people, because he's got, not only does he have House of Cards, he's also on that godforsaken Jack Ryan show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's a major character in that.
But it's
Ooh, yeah. All right.
but it's not like, I mean, like direct comparison. It's
No.
not fucking Samuel L. Jackson being like,
Sure.
hi, I'm Samuel L. Jackson.
right.
Although it is kind of the level of the other, the Shield guy.
Oh,
Clark
Phil-
Gregg.
Yeah, yeah.
It is kind of
that's
Clark
true.
Gregg
That's
level.
I mean, it's
true.
better than Clark Gregg.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, poor Clark.
I agree with that.
I mean, I've always liked Michael Kelly and stuff, so this was kind of cool.
But he's like, oh, your resume is a little thin. I don't know if you're going to be good for this security job. He's like, what have you been doing lately? And he's like, well, I went to Peru. He's like, oh, that's not on this resume. He's like, I went to South America. I
Yes,
did this. And
that's
he's like,
right.
And what else did you do in Peru? He's like, I didn't say Peru. And he's like, I'll let you in on something. We're a government agency nobody knows about. And like all this, that a stinger is coming. I, for one, didn't see G.I. Joe coming. I thought it was
a million
I
years.
thought it was going to
Yeah,
be
it's
some
surprising.
robot that I never heard of that somebody else would have lost their mind.
Or like the door opens and there's Totoro.
Yes.
And it's like, all right, that's that government
the
agency.
Gilgamax project or something. I was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, they're gonna do Gilgamax next movie or whatever nonsense.
Yeah. I was waiting for some nerds in the theater to say anything, and I think everybody was way too gobsmacked. It was just like a what? I mean,
And we're, we can't tell about our benefactor, but let's just say they know him as the Monopoly Man.
Exactly. You might as well, if we're breaking all get He-Man in there, like a real
Dude.
Fighting
fucking
with Nerf guns. Yes.
Nice.
It's stupid.
yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Maybe it'll somehow inspire them to make a watchable G.I. Joe movie.
Well, that's
There
it's.
you go.
I mean, G.I. Joe needs this. I mean, none of those movies ever worked. They've done it 4 to 5 times. No one's watched a single one of them. That Snake Eyes movie, who saw that? No one
No,
did.
no one in
yeah,
the world.
that's $100 million secret.
And if
movie.
someone, listening to this has seen Snake Eyes, I'm sorry, but that was just a government project. You didn't actually see it. That you got like MK Ultra. There was like something in your
They
drink.
just told you that. Yeah.
that's
the
not
only
a real
Snake
movie.
Eyes for me is that excellent De Palma movie.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Great
Yeah,
movie.
it's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
one.
Because it's 3 bad G.I. Joe movies and Snake Eyes, so it's 4.
No, I think it's 2 and then the Snake Eyes movie.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it's G.I. Joe, then G.I. Joe with Dwayne Johnson,
Yes.
where everybody
Is
gets
that
killed for
Rise
the most
of
part.
Cobra?
Yes. And then I think it
Wasn't there like also one that's like Collateral or something? I don't know.
There's
Oh, I-
2 actual G.I. Joe movies, and then I think Snake Eyes is the third one in that.
that's what I thought too.
G.I. Joe Retaliation.
That's
I
the
guess
second one.
That's the
I think.
second one.
Yeah.
So
And then
Rise of Cobra
was the first
First
one.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Snake Eyes, you are correct.
Because I think that was the thing where they were like, oh, we'll do like origin story
Yes.
movies for all of these G.I. Joe characters. And who could care?
I don't know, man. You had Channing Tatum and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Maybe you don't know how to make this movie. Maybe you don't know. Like
Yep. If
you
you
had
couldn't crack
all.
Yeah.
You had, I mean, I would tell you to get a better director and better writers, but I know you don't give a fuck about that. So yeah, all you can do is just say like, I guess they are like make Josh Duhamel was actually part of G.I. Joe when he was helping the Transformers.
And that it might be what we
Might
see,
be.
dude. I don't know. But
That'd be
yeah,
great.
that's the
Yuck.
weird. he looks at the business card. It's just a business card that says G.I. Joe, which why G.I. Joe would have business cards that
If you're a
that doesn't
secret
matter here,
organization,
folks.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, here's
you-
a way to tie it all in.
Uh-huh.
John M. Chu directed G.I. Joe Retaliation and In the Heights.
That's right.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
right.
Wow.
Well, isn't he doing those? Isn't he who's directing those Wicked movies?
Sure.
Yes, he
it
is.
looks
John
like
M.
it.
Yes,
Chu.
he is.
Mhm.
Well, here's my question. So, like, G.I. Joes always famously have, not unlike Transformers, really stupid names.
Mm.
What's Michael Kelly's code name here? Is he like Boardroom or is he like
Hair plug.
Deal maker.
Deal maker?
Deal maker.
HR. Maybe it's just HR.
HR.
Oh,
that's
HR.
good.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I like that.
And it's
Yeah, it's
for
gotta be
hair
HR.
retaliation.
I'm gonna tell you about a secret project nobody's ready for. You're the first one to know about it. It's called Project Barney. We've got this purple dinosaur, and when Earth is on the verge of collapse, we will send him into battle, and he will destroy all.
So-
Dude, the
Yeah.
serious Barney movie, right? Where it's like you're getting all these hints that it might be a Barney movie.
Yeah.
And then you hear, because we love these covers, right? We love old Dickensian little girl ghost
I
covers.
love
Yes.
you.
You love
Whoa. And everyone in the audience like, oh shit, it's Barney. I'm fucking.
Yes.
My childhood should never end. I'm 50 years old. I want to keep seeing it. I want to keep
And
seeing it.
We need you to join Project Teletubby in order to help.
Dude,
We're gonna
Barney
get-
fighting the Teletubby invasion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or yeah. The big dildo on the head one?
Yeah,
Was it that
totally.
guy?
What if it's a
Gonna
thing?
turn you
Maybe
into a Teletubby.
if Barney and the Teletubbies fell into public domain, we could start making like they're doing with those abysmal fucking Winnie the Pooh horror movies.
Yeah, please
Oh,
don't.
God.
Unwatchable horse shit
The
that is.
worst movie I've seen this year by
Oh,
quite a
you
margin.
Of
saw
course it is.
It's the worst thing.
Of course it is.
I mean, I look, if it's a good kill, I'm fine. But like,
Not
it's
even
not
good
good
kills?
kills. Terrible.
Nothing?
Yeah,
Nothing,
terrible.
huh?
Terrible
Yeah.
movie.
But that is the end of this movie. We'll go around the horn here. Final thoughts and recommendations for this, our emergency episode. Chris Cabin.
It's not good. I see why a completist might want to see it. I didn't find much. It's mostly inoffensive, which I give it. Like, that's the smart thing Bumblebee and this do, is that they're both like, they are for kids and for teenagers. They're not really trying to get the army men very excited about the child's toys. But hey, I like the cast enough, but like, yeah, most of this I was just checked out.
Yeah. Eric Siska.
Yeah, not a big recommend for me. I understand why you all love it and adore it out there in the big wide world. I mean, it's okay to like a movie. I'm glad everyone's having fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
All my opinions need like a
Little asterisk.
yeah. Like, no, it's actually good.
Please
listen
don't
to me.
complain. Please.
No, I mean, it didn't really. It didn't really do it for me because eventually all these movies just get to that point where it's a bunch of fucking big metal men fighting each other, and it's like, well, I know all these characters are in the other movies,
Yeah.
and this is '94, right? Whatever. It's a no from me, but I'm glad everyone loves it.
Steve Sadak.
It's a no for me too. It's weirdly like to Chris's point, it's inoffensive. It's like it's certainly shorter than most of those Bay movies, so that's a plus. It is less ponderous than a lot of those Bay movies,
That's
which is also a
true.
plus. But at the same time, like I still feel like if the devil put a gun to my head and said you have to watch another Transformers movie, I'd probably just put the first one on and be like, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like my favorite because it's so short, whatever. I think that, I do think that the Maximals were done dirty here. I wanted more fucking beasts
Yeah.
to rise. And I didn't care for Mega Man and the G.I. Joe. You got to get the fuck out of here with. You just literally have to find some sort of a craft. It could be a boat, could be a car, could be a fucking helicopter to
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here with that.
And you know who could build that? Bob
What's
the
that?
Builder.
That's how it's
Oh fuck yes,
Wow.
yes. Ready Player One forever.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
All my
yeah.
friends,
All
all
my
my toys
guys.
are back.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
my toys.
Space Jams forever.
Oh,
Battle
sure.
Toads. Yeah.
Make everything connected.
I will say that I should probably go find my cub because I'm the lone wolf this week. I would recommend it. I was actually kind of surprised. I think, again, going along that Bumblebee formula of like cut out the 37 human characters, and you just have two, which are played by Dominique Fishback and fucking Anthony Ramos, two, I think, really good actors. The action held my attention. I will say on the editing, I could follow these fight scenes better than
That's
I can
true.
in a lot of those Bay movies. I appreciate it, even though it is like, yes, less to render, yada, yada. We're in a field where you can also see things a little more clearly than in a big muddled cityscape. I loved the soundtrack. I thought that added a lot to it. It gave it a nice sort of time and place. And yeah, I will agree. The Maximals got done dirty.
Yeah,
and for a movie called Rise of the Beast, they barely got it up.
Barely raised.
But that is going to do it for this episode of We Hate Movies. If you want more WHM content, head on over to patreon.com. We got a really fun episode this month on Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade on We Love Movies.
Yeah.
Speaking of us talking about sequels and whatnot.
Probably the last good Indiana Jones movie.
We're a couple weeks away.
We'll
figure it out.
We'll see, but I'm pretty sure.
We will be continuing this Beast thread later this week on Animation Damnation. Steve, is that right?
That's right, Rise. We're talking about Beast Wars at long last. A fun episode about Dinobot being cloned.
Right, double Dinobot. Or
Yeah,
something?
exactly.
I think that's the episode name.
It gets it both ways. Yeah.
He's getting it from all ends in that
Hell
episode.
yeah.
We also we just laid down a very fun Gleep glossary.
Yes, on Boss Nass.
Speaking of Rise of the Beast.
Yes, this big. That's him, the big, heavy set guy ruling the Gungans. We had fun talking about him.
He's the best motorboating son of a bitch this side of the galaxy.
He's a sweet
We
man.
also have an episode of Once in a Lifetime coming out on Stalked on My Doctor, A Sleepwalker's Nightmare, I believe it is.
I think that's it.
If you join Patreon, you can hear us talk about every Sleep by My Doctor. Sleep by My Doctor. That's what he wants.
I want to sleep by you. You sleep by me.
But we will be completing the entire series.
Yes.
You can listen to all the episodes we've done. And similarly,
Melrose 210. We've
Melrose
got
210. We're
Wedding
doing a
Bell
lot.
Blues, where we have the finally Mel and Jackie are tying the knot.
Oh, yeah.
It's finally happened,
We're,
folks.
we're doing the deed, Jackie. Get
And-
married.
Not to be outdone, by the end of this month, we will release a full-length syncable commentary.
That's right.
For you Spiderheads, Spider-Man No Way Home. We're going to revisit that movie. None of us have seen it since theaters, and we'll all just kind of react to it live,
Yes,
have some fun,
just
have
a
some
nice-
fun Defoe voice.
That's right. Just a little hang, just some buds hanging, watching a movie.
That's right.
And of course, on the main feed here, the summer blockbuster extravaganza goes back into regular programming mode with what motion picture are we talking about?
You better set your clock back 10 years because we're going to the mall.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Blart, Mall Cop, and we needed
Oh, yeah.
some help with that, so we got Ben Worcester to help us out with
Hell
it.
yeah.
Right,
Oh,
that's
yes.
My boy's back.
That was quite an epic conversation on that Happy Madison movie. So be on the lookout for that next Tuesday here on We Hate Movies. But until then, I've been Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska, Brooklyn, baby.
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy. Brooklyn!
Brooklyn! Brooklyn! Brooklyn! Brooklyn!